number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Log Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores, comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C, and Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop love.
Yeah, what's up? It's that time again. It's Tuesday night, 8 p.m.-ish. Coming to you live from Pigs Studios with the Heart Z in a secret location in Compton, California. Just follow the bumps. You know what I learned this weekend?
What?
That Louisiana chicken is Popeyes is Louisiana chicken.
Yeah.
Get your chicken at Popeyes.
They don't say that in the song, but it does say that at Popeyes.
Yeah,
it's
Louisiana
all over. It's
style.
like Louisiana chicken.
I found out that shit was real.
It doesn't beat the actual Louisiana fried chicken.
With the Chinese food, yes, of course.
Oh, no, yeah. When
Prestige.
you're down here in Compton and you're getting that Louisiana fried chicken, you better get a side order of fucking orange chicken,
yeah, sweet and sour,
beef, broccoli,
all the good ends.
and the chow mein. Is it the thick noodle or the thin noodle?
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember. I think it was thick.
Yeah?
With-
Who everybody, thick noodle or thinner noodle?
Thick noodle.
Thick.
yeah.
Thick?
Panda Express noodles suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know what their orange chicken is the only thing about Panda Express's orange chicken is that it's always like it's like consistent.
Sure.
And so that makes it good because you know what you're getting.
Yes and no. I like it when it doesn't as spicy because I'm
A spicy.
yeah, it's too spicy for me sometimes.
I also learned that you got to take a zip, not a sip,
Zip.
but a zip.
Give me a zip. Give me a zip.
zip
of that.
first.
Zup.
Give me a zip.
Man, we're back again. We had a long weekend. What was it, Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
For all the hard workers out there.
And for me too.
And today we have a special
For
guest.
the hard workers and for me too. Labor Day is not just for the hard workers.
It's for the hard workers, bro.
I took the day too.
Or for workers. Workers
All
in
right,
general.
good.
Workers in
And
general.
me too.
Yeah. We have a guest today who is a hard worker, blue collar worker himself. I've known this guy for a while already, and I've seen some of his Instagrams and stuff, and he would be posting like crazy shit, crazy different stuff about his adventures out there while he's installing cable or troubleshooting. Because not everything's installing. He's troubleshooting and stuff, and it's like some shit. And then I DM him, I'm like, God damn, bro.
Yeah.
That was in that house. He's like, yeah, bro, it's crazy. Or just crazy shit like someone getting tattooed on the kitchen table or just like stupid shit, So I was like, what would be interesting?
Things that go on inside people's houses.
Yeah, in general. Yeah. So I think installing cable is just a part of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's more interesting is the shit that goes on. And just his story in general in life and the things that he's been through and gone through. So I want to welcome Bud to the show.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And I just found out that he's originally from San Pedro. I thought he was from like Long Beach.
Nope.
All my information is all crossed.
Yeah.
All crossed
All
up,
of
man.
it.
I was like, hey, bro, I asked him something else too, and he's like, nah, bro. I've
Nah,
only known
shit.
Ramon for like, because Ramon, I met him through Ramon, and we had Ramon on a few, at least once, and I thought they were childhood friends. He's like, nah, I met him 2 months ago. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And Ramon should be joining us. He said he would probably come out and join us as well. But he went to the LA airport to pick up a dog that he adopted from Kauai.
Wow.
That sounds bougie and expensive as fuck.
sure.
What was wrong with some of the Long Beach dogs, Ramon? Why can't you say one of these homeless
Man,
ones?
when I lived in Wilmington, there was 2 packs of wild dogs that ran around Wilmington. You could have gone and snatched one of them up.
Yeah, you could have given a nice forever home.
Yeah, man. Like, that's crazy. That is true. I don't know why Kauai, and then probably the fucking plane ride probably cost more than getting a dog here.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And paying for everything, like the shots and the deworming.
When I was in Thailand, there was I was at the elephant rescue. But so in 2012, there was a giant tsunami that fucking wiped out a lot of Thailand. And a bunch of people lost their pets. And so these people wound up and gathered up all these pets and like put them like in their sanctuary. And now if you go there, you can adopt these dogs and cats, and it's like,
Do it.
But sure, but these people are flying from the United States, from China, from the Soviet Union, from Europe, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll take a dog home. It's like, I'm sure they got dogs wherever the hell you're from. What are you doing?
They
And
think they're
lots of them.
special.
Yeah, and lots of dogs too.
We already got people blowing up in the chat. He
Yeah.
says free cable for the West Coast. Hell yeah.
yeah.
Black box giveaway. I don't even think they do black boxes right anymore. But do
Yeah, they
black
do.
boxes?
No, not anymore.
No.
You have like a fire stick or whatever.
Ever since they went all digital, you can't like hook up illegal boxes anymore or anything like that.
No.
Back in the analog days, you go plug the cable in your TV and do that channel scan and get like 1 through 99.
Hell
But now everything is coded and digital. Like there's no free hookups, nothing like that anymore these days. Sadly.
But do people still ask?
People ask all the time.
Yeah.
Of course
Yeah.
they have.
Especially friends, right?
It's the greatest joke. Don't cut off my cable. Anytime they see it, it's like same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's
Same
like, ha, 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 ha.
Like, I'm not here to cut it off, bro. They can cut it off from the fucking office.
I paid my bill. I promise. Okay.
Is that the stupid jokes you get all the time?
All the
Yeah,
time,
for
It's-
sure.
It's the same. It's the same like 3.
Yeah. It's also like when you're washing your car. Oh, mine's next, buddy.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh,
cool, man,
exactly.
thanks.
Fuck you.
Mine's next, buddy.
I remember seeing your some of your stuff, and like you go in and there's like, I remember one, there was a wire, and then you just like snap the wire, and all these roaches just started fucking running.
Oh, shit.
Fucking.
But
It's the worst. I would say the worst part is like the smells.
Of
There's-
people's houses?
Yeah, there's like 4 distinct smells. There's like a pest smell, like roaches and rats. There's like the cat smell, like
Sure.
pets, like urine.
Hot
Yeah.
piss.
There's a smoker smell, and then there's just the overall BO of like a dirty house smell.
What about old people?
Yeah, they're part
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
They're part of that BO one.
They're in that round.
Yeah.
That goes in the old people. Old people go in the BO section.
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, where does it land when you run into the Mexican homes with Fabuloso? Does that
Mario.
have its own special category?
Yes.
What happened, Johnny?
Straight out of the camera. The last one.
Oh, no. Oh, thanks, D. No, that's because we're going to have Ramon sit in that spot.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for pointing it out, D.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Hey, thank
He's
you.
doing what he can. to
Undercover, you can't show me.
Yeah, D's all the way from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So
D's
help.
Coast.
Another great state in the union.
Yeah, they're still using black boxes in Jersey.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're happy they just got cable.
Yeah,
They're like, you heard this thing, HBO? We got it right
we
now.
got it. We got it.
I know for DirecTV, I know one of the the more recent scams, they get accounts and they add extra like cards, and then they actually sell the cards to the people. So it's legitimate. Someone else is paying for it, and you just paid to have that card programmed or linked up to that account. So yeah, fuck. Where there's a will, there's a way. But
Of course, there's people still scamming out there no matter what.
Oh yeah, nonstop.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure what ended a lot of the cable stuff too was all this free hacking, or not free hacking, but the stuff on the Fire Sticks, because those became super popular for a fucking long time. We couldn't even those things will just fly off the fucking shelf, and everyone
You
was
sell them
cracking.
blank, right? And then they go off and program them. You don't sell it.
No, I mean, they come preloaded with whatever Fire Amazon programming comes on them, and then people just take that and fucking flash them. And,
Yeah, there's already apps on it. So there's
Yeah.
like Prime, and you just have to like log in.
Oh,
But-
I don't know anything about technology. If people say Fire Stick, I'm like, yeah, cool, man. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
No, you just plug it into your computer, and then people can still do that kind of shit. But then I also saw one of your videos. Someone had there was feces on the floor.
Oh no.
What? I mean, do people? They know you're coming
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
because
we
they
gotta-
called.
I mean, they should be expecting you within a certain time frame, right? Between 9 and fucking 12.
Yeah.
What is the time frame? Because I've seen some.
It's
no, no, no.
between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. next Wednesday.
When they remember to come back out.
People get pissed off at you, like, "What the fuck? You should have been here earlier." Any crazy shit
Oh,
like
well,
that.
now they could track you.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
not
awesome.
like-
Wait, the customer can track you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No
see how many
shit.
stops you have before you get to them and stuff.
No, just once you
En route to them.
once you go en route to them, if they open up the app or online, it'll track the car I drive.
Hell
It'll track
yeah.
me to their house, and it'll show a picture of who's coming. So they already know your name and all that, who's coming over.
Is there a photo too and everything?
Yeah, there's a photo.
Damn.
Well, that's pretty legit. I mean,
Dude, the future's fucking cool, man. You guys don't even
Future's
know.
now.
The future's cool.
yeah, well, like laser beams taking out fucking.
But I mean, with all break-ins and all that kind of shit. I mean, I'd like to know who's coming and
Sure.
have a photo.
1000%.
so I can make sure to smear shit on my ground.
Yeah, you make a shit on the floor before you get here.
Before I was like, oh man, look it, man. You know how we do it in this house. It's a cable guy coming over. You get out here, smear some. You go get the roaches, throw them on the wall. Let's make sure this happens.
Whose turn to get a tattoo?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
What happened that one?
It was just I was hooking up an apartment, and the dude was just tattooing some chick in the living room, in the kitchen. Like no wipes, nothing was wrapped up in plastic. He's just tattooing her, and she's sitting like in a normal like plastic chair, and he's just scratching on her.
It's like, you want one next, man? We got you next, dude. Ramon. We can make, yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Where's Steve going? Everything's come to a grinding halt. We're with Sam Jimenez. What's the wildest thing you've ever seen? Is shit on the floor the wildest thing you've ever seen?
Dirty wise, it's probably human feces.
Sure.
We had a lady, everyone knew about her, and she would just piss and shit in her own house and just leave it there. So you would walk in and there'd just be piles of human shit there.
Jesus Christ.
But at least she like did it on doggy pads. She had like doggy pads, and she would just.
So this is like a full-on system.
She was shitting on the pad. Sorry, I took off my headphones.
There was no animals in her house. It's just her shitting and pissing on the pads. And
she was the one.
yeah, it was human shit, not dog shit.
How long have you guys been on that you're already here?
Oh, we jumped right.
No,
We
we
jumped
went
to
right
it. We
into
jumped
it.
to it immediately.
Hi, I'm Buddy. I've seen people shit and piss on themselves.
Yeah, we went from stinky houses to shit immediately. Going right to the other.
I was trying to build up to it, but they just ran straight into human feces immediately. So
I mean, to be fair, we went roaches first. We went roaches before we went
Tattoos.
shit. So, yeah, you know.
Dog shit.
Really quick, but how long have you been doing this stuff for?
Over 15 years.
Fuck,
Oh, so-
15 years of this shit, really?
So I did the math. I've probably been to like 17,000 different homes or businesses
Holy fuck!
over those
Jesus
15
Christ.
years. So a lot of weird stuff.
Is it frustrating that all apartment buildings are set up so different? you can't ever find. When I was being a delivery driver, my most frustrating thing was that there's no uniform to how apartment buildings are set
Like
up.
the numbers.
To the numbers, the
Yeah.
letters, all this stuff. And they talk to you like you're the asshole. You're like, okay, here's 1, and then it goes to 3. Where's 2? And the person's like, 2's all the way over on the other side, next to 29. Why don't you? And it's like, why does that make any sense? You know, like, get the fuck out of here.
Like, you're supposed to know it.
Right, like I'm supposed to
These
know
are
your
all the
apartment
even.
building.
Those are the odds.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
you.
get out of
Makes no
here,
sense. I wouldn't be
man.
asking in the fucking first place.
Right, 100%.
Okay, sorry. I
We can go
interrupted,
back. We can go back.
Did you get your dog?
Well, we got to go pick up the dog afterwards.
After?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be introduced to the new dog.
No.
Because we've already talked about that on here too before we
Yeah, we even got there
introduced
too.
Bud. Yeah,
Yeah, we adopted a dog in Kauai.
a Rottweiler,
No. But
pit bull.
no, she's a half whippet, half.
I've done a whippet. I don't know what a whippet looks like.
I'm about to say you guys. Yeah,
I've done
exactly.
a
Like,
whippet.
That's how they train them in Hawaii.
What's the other part?
She's a whippet, leopard, catahoula.
A what?
What was those other words that you said?
I know.
Or catahoula leopard.
They have their own dogs in Hawaii.
It's not even a Hawaiian. It's apparently a Louisianan dog.
Oh, Louisiana comes back into the
Oh
picture.
shit! We were
You
just talking about
know-
Louisiana fried chicken
They got
earlier.
Popeyes there.
So
A cat.
Wait, in Louisiana or in fucking Hawaii?
No, we have Popeyes here, and it tastes like Louisiana.
Oh, that's
One of
right.
these guys? A Cataloo leopard?
That's her.
are we? We're not shitting on Popeyes, right? Popeyes. Is
No.
No. There was no shitting on
Okay.
Popeyes done at all.
No, not at all.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Like,
He got,
Popeyes is
he got
good.
so defensive.
He's like, whoa.
hold
wait a
hold
fucking
up.
second.
Hold up. Popeyes, bitch.
I will not be a part
Popeyes
of
is,
Popeyes
Popeyes is
blasphemy.
good because of the red beans and rice.
Well, Popeyes
Sure.
used to be Pioneer.
Well,
Wait,
Not
what?
correct.
Yeah,
That's,
I don't
that's
think-
incorrect.
Popeyes bought it. I saw the documentary.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
I think it was called
Just to probably take out
Coon's
the
Chicken
competition.
originally.
No, that was from Ghost World.
That was from Ghost World.
No, that was a real restaurant though.
Coon's Chicken.
Yeah, I think it was like
I don't even
San
think I
Bernardino or
should
something like
say
that.
that's somebody's got to fire. up the Google
Popeyes
machine.
and Pioneer Chicken are two separate fast food chains.
Oh man, I was wrong.
Yeah,
Pioneers was better than Popeyes though.
I mean, they had a cooler logo. That
No,
little
the
guy
crunch on that chicken?
They had the guy in the wagon, in the chuck wagon. That
And
was
then
pretty
now you
sweet.
see all the Chinese spots that took it over. The outline is still there, but
Yeah,
now it's
totally.
China King.
Yeah.
One in Buena Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, like China King or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Is
China
it's
King.
China King,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, China
it's
King.
the same thing. But
Oh, that's somebody was calling in on
I
it.
know. I was like, what?
but Pioneer was good because they had the fried apple pies. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't know, man.
Yeah, like you would get, they'd come in like the little paper bag, and it would like be greasy through the bag.
But
And
also
you would bite
you-
into it, and it would give you like 3rd-degree burns.
Do you know what the guy who's reopening the Pioneer?
No,
There is
like-
one out here, yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna have him on the show.
Yeah, like his parents owned it, or what is the story about it?
We had a guest and then a musician that was here, and I guess it's his friend, and I don't know how he came about buying one of the last Pioneers. So he went and redid everything. He went and remade all the packaging, everything, and even like the shirts. Like, oh, his merch game is on fire.
He's opening an 80s
Yeah.
style Pioneer chicken.
The whole nine, recipe and all.
You would go and buy the shirt right now.
Oh no, it's
100%,
hard.
absolutely.
It's hard. If you saw it, you would be like, "Oh shit, I need to get 3 of those."
And you would buy the shirt just because people would be like, "Damn, where'd you get that shirt?"
No, for sure, 100%. And it's a black shirt with just the white outline, just Pioneer on it, and the back big. I was like, "Fuck."
That's pretty hard.
That's why I would tell everybody, like, you got to make 3XL merch, bro, motherfucker.
I'm gonna open up Miller's Outpost next. Just fucking
Nice.
sell jeans.
Mervin's.
Anchor Blue.
Yeah, dude, Mervin's were like nerd shopped.
Wow, yeah.
I
They
know,
didn't have
'cause
my
that's,
size.
that's
bro.
why I have my cords.
They didn't have my size.
We
had-
hit the husky section.
They had Airwalks there before Airwalks became cool. They had them at Mervin's
You
before
guys are
anybody
rich,
wore
man. I was
Airwalks.
shopping at Kmart.
Kmart
Oh,
had champions, bro.
Blue light
Not
specials.
everyone's rocking it.
What about Zodi's?
Ooh.
Damn, you're going crazy.
Damn, I'm not even up on Zodi's.
Kmart, I got a
Where Target is at, used to
still
be
in
Zodi's.
turtlenecks. In junior high school.
Well, the way I met Buddy was through Ramon and Kristen. Like at their house, he would come over and he'd be telling these fucking crazy ass stories, bro. Just in general. So the cable thing, I guess, is just the catalyst to get him here.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Because
Like,
I mean, I remember the first story I ever heard from Buddy, and I hope I can say this, Buddy. He's like, "Oh, you know what? I almost killed my mom when I was born." And I was like, "What?" And then you can take the story over and say as much as you like. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we have millions of listeners, but whatever.
I didn't hear what
it's
you
so
said.
good.
What did you say?
It's so good. It's like such a good that like okay.
The way way you started life, how when you were born and you almost
Oh, I was a C-section, and I shit myself when I was coming out, so I had shit in my throat,
Yeah.
so I was like choking on shit. So they took me away from my mom and dad because they had to go clear all the like shit out of my throat because I wasn't breathing, and like I was blue when I came out. So my parents were freaking out, but they were able to go clean all the shit out, and then they were able to bring me back. But I think it happens a lot of
Yeah.
kids.
I didn't
I
have
don't
any
think it's
shit
that.
in my mouth while I was born, but I've been eating shit ever since.
That just seems like the very opening like it's
Yeah,
it's
that's
a,
how my life began.
it would be like a good first scene in a movie because Steve and I talk about it all the time. Like especially like Buddy will come by and they'll just be a random like something will kick off a story, you know, something whatever it is, and he'll tell this outlandish story, and you're kind of like, if it was anybody else, I would not.
I mean, fuck you.
I wouldn't believe it at all. Like you made that up. Like you totally made that up. Like, I won't even like spoil any of those stories because I don't even know where to start. But like his family dynamic, and then obviously like, his work stuff too. You're just like, fuck. People just got to listen to him talk. Like he just tell stories. He hit me up. He was like, "Are you gonna come by?" And he's like, "I
He's
don't.
he's
I don't know-
exaggerating.
I don't know what to
Believe him.
talk about. That's not true.
no.
Tell me I'm
is
lying,
not
Steve.
true. You're not.
Tell me I'm lying. Like, and the stories are kind of sad. They are like they're
believe
kind
it.
of they're sad. Like my wife will tell me sometimes, like, you can't like laugh at that stuff, but it is. It's
Yo, did
funny.
you hear what he said? You can't laugh at that.
It's funny, and
But,
like
but he's laughing at it.
Yeah.
he's laughing at it.
You know what I mean? So you're listening to him going like, "What the fuck?"
Like, dude, I still think that like your mom's nickname being Fuzzball, I think is still like the funniest thing ever to me, and I'm not really too sure why, and that's one of those things where like I chuckle, but I kind of feel bad for chuckling, but it's it's funny. Like, your mom's name is Fuzzball. Like, it's great. Like, you were smoking weed when you were like 12.
That was her. She went to prison for 2 years at CIW. So that was her like prison name was Fuzzball.
Oh shit! You know you're hard when you come out and you keep using your prison nickname. You're like, nah, I'm Fuzzball now. Like that's yeah. Like,
I told her I was gonna get a tattoo of her and then write Fuzzball underneath.
Yeah.
She got kind of upset, but because she came out, she had like this coffee cup that they tattooed Fuzzball on. And she would use it to like drink morning coffee still. And I was like, "What's Fuzzball?"
She came home with her prison canteen.
I kept using it. Like it wasn't like I'm gonna put this in the closet, not think about this anymore.
I'm throwing it away.
Yeah, right. She's like, I'm gonna think about this every morning.
You see what I'm saying? It's those little details where you're like, this is the most interesting man on the fucking planet.
Yo,
and people don't even get it.
The hardest tattoo would be if your mom had the little plate where they put in front of you and it said Fuzzball
on it. That would be hard.
With the numbers and stuff, like a height. Oh my god,
dude! Your grandpa Red's porn collection.
Yeah.
Like, Buddy talks about like junior high school, the way people talk about like their stories in Vietnam. Like, it's just funny. Like some of the shit he was doing like when he was a kid, and it's crazy because he's so on the straight and narrow now. Like, I bet you Buddy has like an 800 credit score. You know what I mean? Like, he's very
a good
like
dude.
He's a good dude,
a real citizen.
He donates to ASPCA. He like like he's just a like. There's no.
He hasn't smoked weed in
Buddy.
years. We were just talking about weed smoke, and he's like, I haven't smoked in years.
He hasn't smoked in years.
Yeah.
It's almost like he got it all out of his system in a very short amount of time.
Well, at 12.
As a child. Like, when no one was supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, yeah, it's not for me. Like,
He rented his own apartment like at 13.
What the fuck?
No.
yeah. Yeah. So I met Buddy because I knew I was the old guy who was hanging around younger dudes.
Oh,
That doesn't sound
I've
good
been
at all.
I've been
I
that
want to
guy.
retract
I'm
that
just
statement.
being honest.
I've
Like,
been that guy too.
Like,
I was
Bring us
an older
alcohol.
guy, not the old guy.
yeah, I was an older guy. I worked with a mutual friend of ours, older sisters, and their mom. And funny enough, I came into work one day, hungover, like obviously hungover. And at this time, I worked with kids, which is like, man, what a gigantic piece of shit you are. So I came into work super hungover, and the mom was like, "Hey, you and my son would get along really well." Well, it turns out that son and I did get along really well. Well, Buddy was one of the mutual friends that was living at the house. So I would come by and we would drink shitty PBRs and just be wasted all the time. And even back then, Buddy would just be coming home from work super late. He'd have like $15 worth of Albert tacos. He would sit at the counter, eat, and then go into his room while everyone else was outside just drinking and partying. And like, Buddy just did not give a fuck. And there was a part of me that always kind of like, to be that not affected
Sure.
is really like really, you don't want to participate in any of this? Like, you don't care that much. Whatever's on fucking Forrest Gump on TV again.
Like, what's he doing in there? It's
Yeah.
better than it. It's better than out here. What's
Yeah.
he
Having
doing
the
in
time
there?
of his life.
Plenty of fish.
but to be that not affected is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm doing my own thing.
Like,
Now let me ask you, buddy. You didn't care about it, or you were just too fucking tired from dealing from the army of roaches and rodents and people tattooing from the day job to go to hang out and do whatever?
I would hang out. You're making it seem like I never hung out.
What the fuck, Ramon?
Buddy would hang out. Buddy would hang out, but he wouldn't hang out like and get wasted with everyone else. It was almost like he was.
I'm just not a big drinker.
He wasn't a big drinker, but he was always kind of like that comic relief. You know, that guy who just has like a quick 1-2 punch of humor?
Yeah.
You know, everyone else is doing way too much, and then he would just hit you with like a quick 1-2.
A sniper.
And it would be the highlight of the night because everyone would fucking laugh. And then he would just be gone.
Disappear.
Then he would just be gone.
And
Like,
it would just be a part of his life, though. It was not even like a joke.
correct.
It'd be
It
like,
just-
oh yeah, this happened today, blah, blah, blah. There was human. This lady was shitting on fucking dog pads. You know?
Is
And you're
that
like,
is that not like, that's not a normal
No,
conversation,
no.
right? Like, but he says it so matter of fact.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's his
That's
delivery.
what he said. At
deliverance.
least he said it earlier. He was like, at least it was on the pads. It's like, what do you mean? At least it was on the pads?
Yeah, like she's considerate about shitting. Like when she has a toilet. She has a toilet.
I don't know.
Have you ever had to call like fucking animal control or fucking old people abuse or call in for cops or let people know some shit's going down?
Yeah.
And any of these 17,000 establishments you've been
No,
to?
there's been some that it's just so dirty and nasty. It's like unsafe to work. You know what I mean? So you just leave.
Did you put the booties on when you're in there?
You just tell them like, hey, like I can't work.
Do you tell them why? Like, because they're disgusting fucking pigs?
I tell them why.
Okay.
Like
good.
if I go to a house and like I'm picking up equipment from them and it's like infested with like roaches or bugs, I'll be like, hey, you got to return this. Like I take it, but you're gonna have to return this because it's full of roaches. So I'll let you do it. I love that you just tell them. I don't want to like in my van or come. Like I had one just this Monday morning. I was there to install services and they opened their front door and it just roaches everywhere. And then she just has like a dirt devil like that she's just sucking them up with. Hilarious. And I was like, you got to move all this stuff along this wall so I could run the cable. And everything she moves, it's just tons and tons. And it's just that smell. And you just see the brown spots. There's like the poop and everything. She just moves in, then dirt devils them up.
How old is this person?
They're probably like middle age, like 50. Her and her husband just living in that apartment.
That's a great question there, D. Rotten. Do you get free cable or just a discount?
For the company I work for, we get free cable.
Oh, hell yeah.
All the channels.
Right, that's what,
all the channels.
All the channels.
And pay-per-view?
Except for the adult ones.
No, you get basic. You got to pay for all the premium channels.
We used to get the adult ones.
You never know. Some people are like that, though. You know, you ask, oh, you get the basic.
You're like, what about HBO? Nah. No, it's $14 a month.
You don't feel obligated ever. It's an honest question. You ever feel obligated to Mario's point, like to call someone like, hey, I just saw some.
No, I've called
some really fucked up.
I called animal control once for a dog because they had this dog like chained up in the backyard, and you could tell like. They just didn't take care of it. The chain was like embedding into its neck.
Motherfuckers.
And so I just left the job. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do the job for them. And then I called like the local animal control police. I was like, hey, this dog, like chain is like embedded in its neck. You probably want to go.
I would have cursed.
That was the one and only time right there.
Damn, dude.
But I'm not gonna call on the human.
You know what? Thank you, sir. You're right, because fuck humans, and thank you for thinking about the dogs.
You cage up all the people you want in your backyard. Just don't fucking put no dogs back there.
I guess the only reason I asked that is because, like, yeah, like if you're going back to the lady that like poops on a pad, if you're of the disposition that that's okay, my thought is that you're probably mentally not there.
I mean, that's a pretty good assessment.
We had a we had a nudist lady where you couldn't go there alone. You had to go with like a supervisor because she
was naked.
Yeah, she was just naked. So just in case something, you had like backup so she couldn't sue or anything like that. But yeah, and she lived in an apartment complex too. So it wasn't like she lived like in her own house. She just lived like in a 1-bedroom apartment. And she would just open the door naked, and you'd just be in there working, and she would just...
With her roaches, though.
Just be there.
No, it's a different lady.
I just want to see if she had roaches.
So this was established? Like, this was, like, in your notes? Like,
yeah, everyone knew about the...
Wait, how many times did you guys need to go out to the house?
That was kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, no, if she's getting naked, she wants you to come over, so she's coming up with shit.
Probably.
I would say in the history of cable, of all the times I've had, aside from them coming to install it, I can't think of another time they were at my house.
Well, you're not naked. And when you're naked, they want, you know. And then when you have roaches, the roaches are probably eating the wires. Or whatever something is.
Rats.
Like how bad is the roach infestation that your electronic equipment is?
Well, you have something for, and you have a dirt devil for. Like, oh, this is my roach vacuum.
Like imagine
holding like a modem and
it's just like infested with roaches. Like,
well, I see one of his stories, whatever it was at the time. And he hit this little wire that was on the wall. He or a cord, and he snapped it. And it was like, I was like, holy shit! I couldn't be in there, bro. I couldn't be in there. I'm not even gonna. That's not even one of those that's like, oh yeah, let me just sweep them out. Nah, fuck you. Like you said, I feel them on me. I'd have to get naked to get in my truck to get home.
What? Okay. What about nice ass places? Have you ever like, oh shit?
Yeah, you go to some really expensive places down in the OC area.
Do they give out tips? Nice tips?
You wanna give
Do
out
they give
specifics?
tips and stuff or no?
Is there any naked rich ladies?
Well, let's establish, was the naked lady at least good looking or not?
No.
I already knew the answer to that. There was no need
I
to
was
ask
just
that
hoping,
question.
bro. I was hoping
I knew
for
she
him.
was not.
Yeah,
Like-
most nudists are not.
Yeah, like if there was a Venn diagram of like nudists and good people, like the intersection is probably like
It's thin.
Not
very
happening.
minimal.
man.
You know, like that's just my hunch. Like I don't know. I've never seen a nudist before, but I can't imagine if you know,
When so I mean, well, a quick nudist story. So a guy that used to work with my dad.
nudist.
Yeah, a guy that worked. And my dad don't make no work friends, and then this guy was like, all of a sudden they were like getting pretty tight, you know. And I guess they told they told my mom and dad like we're a nudist, and their daughter was like a dime and like right around my age. And like they were like they're nudists, and I was like, I think we should participate. You know, like they're like they want us to come over. I was like, 100%. I support. We should totally be friends with them. They weren't. They stopped hanging out with them. But
You eventually got to broker that conversation if you're a nudist and you want to have other people recruited into your.
or if you just want to have them at
Nudism.
your house and you're like, look, like this is what we do at our house. Like, you know, like if you want to come over, that's cool. Like we get naked, you know, sit on the couch, buttholes first.
How else do you sit on the couch, Johnny?
Well, I'm just saying that's not
Okay,
that,
just making
that
sure.
doesn't become an issue until you're naked.
Right.
Sitting butthole first, like it's like that's fine. You got pants and underwear and whatever on.
You just bring a pad. That's all.
There you
Obviously,
go.
like the lady, you know what I mean? I'm saying
Maybe
there-
that's how she started. She was a nudist first, and then just wanted to
I,
shit on the
there's-
fucking
I
couch.
don't
Take a
think there's a
shit.
direct line between being naked and shitting on the ground. but,
I'm
you
trying
know.
to find the connection, Johnny. I'm trying to understand. Look, man, people out there are fucking gross. I don't think people don't talk about that enough. I worked with the population in their cars, and cars are gross, fucking gross. And I can't even imagine. I haven't seen roaches or anything like that, but I mean, I've heard of people having rodents and shit like that in their cars. So
I think I'd be okay with roaches. Roaches are still fucking gross. Like my face is, I can't.
No,
Like,
I'm not
the
okay
cringe.
with roaches.
Yeah, but like,
Who's that?
but,
Nah, I'm not
Nah.
okay. Nah,
no, like because
okay.
roaches are gross. But like, dude, like rats.
But like roaches,
The rats
You don't-
thing would probably
roaches
be,
are there for a reason.
You
You,
don't
know what I
like-
mean?
you
Something
don't see the
dirty.
rat.
right. It didn't happen. It
Yeah.
didn't just happen by accident.
The only time you see the rats is like if you go in the attic or the crawl space.
Sure.
You'll see like if they have a rat problem, you'll see like dead ones because they've captured them or something like that.
Dog, if I'm in a crawl space and I feel a rat on me,
Oh,
I'm
damn.
gonna fucking break out of that house like the Hulk.
But the-
I am not strong at all. Yeah, like it's just straight panic. Like,
I think you would like
Listening
pass
to
out
that
from the
stretchy
fucking
little lady.
fear.
starts
yeah,
screaming
dude,
fast.
like the girth of their tail and shit, I'm fucking out. Like,
those
if there's some
people-
roaches on me, I'd be like,
Wait,
oh shit, that's
how
gross.
would you know the girth of it from it just whacking you really quick?
Because you know,
You can
dude,
feel
you've
it.
seen
You
a
can-
fucking rat tail. You know what a rat
Yeah, I guess
tail-
you're right. Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
The real
And
big
not like the
ones.
fun rat tails. I'm talking about like an actual
Yeah.
rat tail.
Fun
Those
rat
things,
tail.
you know what I mean? Those things are just, dude.
Joker.
Rats are fucking disgusting. Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm out.
the rats.
I'm
You
out.
know,
Like-
those rides, those slingshot rides where the people scream and then pass out and then scream.
Yeah.
And like, "Ah!"
Yeah,
Keep
like,
passing out, coming back and seeing the rat again and screaming and passing out again.
dude. We like a few months ago, we had like there was like a sound. It was like a little like sound in the walls. And, yeah, it was like that. And my wife was like, "Go see what it is." So
No, it was in my bathroom.
it was in the bathroom, you know. So we're laying down in bed, and I'm like, "Fuck." All right. Well,
It's coming from my bathroom cabinet. It's like regularly, like a vibration through the wall. Like it's a, I don't know.
like I don't know what the fuck it was
horrifying.
supposed to be. Like, but all right, what am I supposed to do? Tell my wife no?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Fucking
I'm going to
terrified
bed.
of
I'm
what's
going-
going to be around that corner.
Go to sleep.
It's
Just
fine.
go to sleep.
It's fine. I'll
Put
I'll
on
be
some
gone in
headphones.
the morning.
Yeah, put on some headphones and go to sleep.
So, like a good wife does, she fires up her fucking iPhone and hits record. And here I am, like a
yeah.
fucking 265-pound bitch, and I'm terrified, dude. Like inside, I'm going, man, I'm gonna open this fucking cabinet, and there's just gonna be this little cheese-eating rat fuck just staring at me. So I'm going through, and it wasn't anything. It was our fucking cat on the other side of the bathroom.
No,
Like,
it was my toothbrush battery dying.
oh shit, well, even worse. Like, but the noise that it was making, it sounded like something was in the wall, and it was
Yeah.
just like, dude, it could have been like I would have been totally fine with a spider, a lizard. I don't
All
give a
of it,
shit.
whatever.
If it was a rat,
So we got to burn the house down.
Just take this whole house and throw it in the trash.
We're moving.
Come out.
We're moving.
Yeah, we're out. We're totally
Fuck
out.
this neighborhood.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do it, man. Do they give you hazard pay for shit like that?
I'm about to say you don't get paid enough, man. I'm sure whatever the fuck it is, it's not enough to be dealing
Well, it's free
with.
cable. He gets free cable too.
Man, fuck all
All
that.
the channels.
Cable, I want
he, gets all,
cash.
he gets all the channels.
I mean,
you
that-
can't put a price on that.
That's
you
like
can't.
at least 200-300.
That is 54. No, what is the price on the full package like that?
I don't know.
That's premium.
Probably like what I have with the boxes. Probably like over $250 a month.
See
maybe.
that, man?
Nah, come on, bro.
$250.
That's with
month.
internet, TV,
All of it.
cell
You got the
phone.
fastest
$12 a
internet.
month?
You got the fastest
You got
internet.
some good shit.
Man, I'm complaining about like $150 a month. I'm,
got
I'm that
secret-
guy that's calling and asking every 6 months if I can
Is,
Is there a
is
deal?
that new promo
Yeah,
out
can
yet?
yeah, exactly.
Can I
Like,
re-sign up for another
Can
2
I go to
years?
retention, please?
I know.
That's the first
You've already
question I
signed
get.
up for like 80 years from Mr. Ramon.
You're complaining, but you use Buddy's cable for
Why are
free.
you putting them?
Oh, shit.
Just
You
kidding.
can give the login to anyone. It doesn't matter.
You can? They know you do that?
I mean, if you had it, you could give it to anyone. It's not like a secret thing.
We
or
all got
nothing
free
like that.
cable.
It's no secret. It's not illegal.
Well, it is for like Netflix, right? You can't give that shit out no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has to be at your home.
Right.
I mean,
That shit's whack.
yeah. I mean, that's just because they have shareholders, so they got to figure out how to like maximize the dollar. That's why your Netflix now costs $1.50 more than it did 6 months ago, and it's going to be another $2 at the start of
Next
2024. Like,
Well, that's cool. You
it
can
is what
charge
it
me
is.
what you want, but at least let me share with my sister
Yeah.
or my friend.
Yeah.
You know, let me share at least 3 people. Raise it, cool, but let me at least share it.
I think
mine.
you have that option, right?
No,
No.
now if they're not at your house, they're like, yo, that shit is not. We know.
So it
where
can't be on-
We
like-
know where you're at.
It can be on your phone, at your house, whatever is.
It's got to recognize your home Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
your main home TV,
Uh-huh.
and then it won't. Because I used to use Roberts, and then they wouldn't let me anymore, so I had to actually cough up the money. They stopped letting me
I
watch
like
shows.
that our cable guy has to still share passwords.
He's like, yeah, what's up, man?
I have
There's
all-
not
I have-
enough TV.
I have all your wife sign in.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So D says so they lied to us and said cable is would be more expensive. Is cable more expensive than not cable?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're stating the obvious there, Doug.
You gotta add it all up.
I think he's talking about maybe if you get all the different
all the stuff?
streaming
Oh,
okay.
services.
Make-
When
Yeah.
they come in with the $59.99 a month, but they don't tell you
Not-
no HBO, no ESPN, no
I think
ESPN.
it means like if you get Hulu,
All the different
Prime,
things.
Oh,
all the
yeah,
different
yeah.
streaming ones, it adds up to like a cable
shit.
bill or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
what
one
it
of
is.
those streaming executives was said that now this is getting out of hand. We need to start bundling some of these streaming services. It's like, oh, you mean
Yeah.
cable? You mean cable? You want to reinvent cable?
cable.
Like that's what you said. Like you.
But that's why HBO Max went away. That's
And
why
Showtime just got rolled into
And now it's
into
called
Paramount
Max.
Plus.
Yeah, Max.
You know they're rolling all these shits in there.
Like it's fucking terrible, man.
Yep.
Like I don't know. I don't like it. But all I do is just watch like the same 3 movies over and over again.
Sure.
Anyway. Shawshank Redemption,
Good movie.
Blood In, Blood Out on YouTube.
Okay. Good movie.
Shout out
It's
to-
on YouTube. He's not even watching like
Oh,
cable.
those-
No, it's on
The
YouTube.
full movie
It's like
is
the only
available.
movie that's
The full movie is available on YouTube.
and there's like multiple channels that
Yeah.
show it. Like
Oh,
if you
shit.
want like the slightly edited version, there's like it's the only movie that's never gone away.
Okay.
Like
right,
American Me
so-
was on there for a little bit
So
too.
Shawshank Redemption, Blood In, Blood Out.
And then
Goodfellas.
well, yeah, Goodfellas is in rotation too, but you got to pay for that sometimes. Like if it's not on Netflix.
Sure.
But I'll watch like Kickboxer or Bloodsport.
He's
Which is
missing
pretty
the
much the
big
same
one.
movie.
He's missing the big one he watches too. He said it many times. Whoopi Goldberg's Nun.
Oh shit, Sister Act.
Sister Act. I've
1
never
and
seen
2.
Sister Act.
Yeah, Sister Act 1 and 2 is a shit.
What I like to do, I don't watch the movies over and over again anymore. I just watch clips on YouTube. So it's just like whatever. I skip to the right to the part
Your
that I
favorite
want
Oh,
to
see,
see.
so you know you.
You know what I
Then
mean?
that's
And I
fine.
just watch that on there and laugh every time.
You're like slightly derelict like me.
Sure. Well, what I would do before that was available was on VHS tapes. I would just like watch the Karate. Yeah, I would watch the Karate Kid, but just fast forward to all the Cobra Kai parts. Or yeah, I would like. There's all kinds of movies that I only watch very specific.
Still never
parts of
seen
them.
Karate Kid.
Would you write the time on the tape?
No, I knew. Yeah, I know how to do that.
You did that for porn, didn't you?
That's all right. That was my grandpa's stash had his VHS under his bed. He had tape, and he wrote like times.
Hell yeah.
And I
parts.
came to find out that was a good part, and then so I would watch it. Obviously.
Oh, so it was not like where the scene started or anything.
No,
it was just
like,
where the good
his,
shit
his
was.
favorite part of that movie.
Yes.
So obviously, I would fast forward to that as well too.
So you and your grandpa jacking off to the same
you'd
thing.
come at the same thing, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean?
He took up his preference.
Yeah.
What was Grandpa's preference?
I remember one. It was called Wild Thing, the movie,
Full bush Latinas is
and it was this girl looked like Pamela Anderson was getting like banged out on like a Ferrari in the desert for some reason, and that was like his like stamp time mark was like that scene. So, because he was like into classic cars, he had like a Mustang. So I guess it was like
He's living out the
his
fantasy,
dream
bro.
of,
He's
like,
imagining him fucking
driving
out
a
there in the desert.
Joshua Tree and just
if I had
banging
a
out
Ferrari,
someone.
I'd be banging out broads on it, just like this guy.
In the desert.
Jeez.
Do you see what that's funny?
80s. It had to be an 80s porn at least.
Yeah, they were older. And
Yeah.
They weren't.
So,
What was
I
that
mean, that was
fucking
like that was
VHS?
like
When did they-
'97 though. I was like 11.
When they were actually like
And you were
movies.
jerking off to porn at 11?
Yeah.
Our elementary school.
I mean, that's an average age. I mean, how
Yeah.
long?
I
What
mean,
time?
that's not, you know.
Did you
that's
just
right
start
around
jacking off the
there.
porn last year, or what?
Well, I don't think I was jerking off at 11.
Me
Like at
either. Not
11, I think I
11.
was still like
Yeah.
really into basketball. Like,
We were
Garbage
bad.
pail
We were bad
kids.
kids. I don't know if it was just our elementary school, but we did a lot of weird stuff.
Uh-oh.
At a
Jacking
yo-
off
at a
is weird
young
at that age.
No, like so. Walking to school, we had a
This is where it
speech,
gets good.
speech
I
and
was gonna
language.
say it
This is where it
started.
gets
We would
good.
cut through a speech and language school that was next to our elementary school, and they had a playground. And do you remember those old, like concrete tunnels that you would like crawl through
Oh,
on the playground?
Sure.
Yeah.
So girls would be on one side and guys would be on the other side, and then they would be like, "Okay, Charlie, show your penis." So
Hell
Charlie
yeah.
would put his penis, showing it through the tunnel, and then the girls would look through the tunnel, and they would see his penis, and then we'd say, "Okay, Rachel, show your boobs." So Rachel would show her boobs in the tunnel, and then we would just do that back and forth in fourth grade.
I would get inside that tunnel. I like someone pull out something.
What do you call that thing where you kind of look into it and it starts changing all different kind of colors?
Kaleidoscope.
It's a kaleidoscope of fucking baby dicks and baby boobs
Yeah.
fucking on the fourth grade fucking field over here.
So when they say kids are like have phones, they
I'm
could
like, let me
look-
see
they
that
could look up
butthole, girl.
porn. I mean, we were doing the same thing in like '96.
Yeah.
Just without the internet.
Yeah.
Just through a tunnel.
Just grandpa's VHS.
Straight to the good parts.
I'd bring girls over and show them like,
Hell yeah.
the parts and be like, "Yeah, this is a cool part."
By the way, this is what you got to be doing.
I bring him and show him the parts. I'm not even showing him the whole movie. I was just before. Look, man, we're gonna skip some of this shit. Going straight to what my grandpa recommends right here.
and there was never any like rebuttal. Like, no, I don't think I want to watch your grandpa's porn.
Nah, man, these sluts were good
there was
to go.
a big box. There was a bunch of films.
You can pick whatever you want.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried the penis enlarger pump. He had one of those,
Hell yeah.
and
So
then
this is-
he had a back massager like thing that you would
isn't that a back massager,
supposedly
pal?
use for like your back massager.
Yeah.
And then I would use that too.
did you massage your back?
No.
Yeah.
But I would do all this in his room, though. I wouldn't even take the videos to my room. I would just do it in his room because that way I could clean up quicker.
Hell
So I'd put like a
yeah.
towel down and then use that back massager and then
I need a little more clarity. A back massager. So I just keep thinking like those pistols.
like a
that have,
wand,
the
like
little,
like
Like
a
a
wand,
Hitachi
an
wand.
old school wand. This is like 20 years ago. So like the old school wand, and it had different attachments of like it looked like suction cups, like bigger ones. They were
I'm
like
so
little
like I don't think I've
circular
ever seen
plates.
this. Like
I think
because
I
I think
remember.
back
I think I
massager. I think that
remember.
the little gun where it's like da 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 da.
No, they
Yeah,
have hard
that
plastic.
just came out.
They have hard plastic, and some of them have like the little like
Rubber attachments
yeah.
that it would be a different size, how big you want it to like.
And what do you do? Do you
It's for like your
Just
shoulders.
put it
and stuff.
on. No, you just put it on your wiener and just
like
hold
this.
it there.
Oh.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that, but it had like these little.
Even older, I think.
And
it looked
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it was
I
like a
just-
saucer size.
and it just vibrates your gooch?
You just put it on your wiener and then you just stand there. And then until
You just stand there.
just stand there until it happened, and
Nature
then
takes care of
I'd
itself.
clean up, rewind. Be kind, rewind. And I'd rewind it, put it back under the
Do you
bed.
rewind it all the way back or just to that spot?
I just wherever I'd put the tape in, see where it was at,
You hit the zeros.
Then I rewind
So
it.
there was,
Right,
a,
yeah,
there was
yeah,
an
yeah.
obvious process.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
4 zeros. You got to
was
make
a
sure
obvious
it's 4
process.
zeros.
I don't think he ever noticed, but
He knew.
Oh, that was my follow-up
he
question.
knew.
If he knew. Oh, he
No, he knew.
No, maybe not.
He knew.
no, because he was always at the starting gate. So
But he knew. He knew how he had his shit. And he once or twice he had to be like, "Oh, buddy's been here."
Steve, you're a horse,
That's my boy.
you're a horse race guy. You know the starting gate.
Yeah, across the
Yeah.
street from Los Alamitos.
That was his grandpa
Yeah.
grandpa Red's
I'm
drink.
sure they all used to go back then. Do you remember the guy that owned it way back then?
No.
He looked like Elvis.
No,
Kenny.
I mean that shit's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, starting
people
gate's
go
still
there?
Yeah,
You realize this is a cast in a movie.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Like you knew the owner of the starting gate.
Yeah, because I would go there. They would have. Oh, you didn't have to pay for the wings. You just tip
It's a
The
bar.
jar?
It's a bar though. How did you get in?
because there's food.
Yeah, but it's a bar. Like I think currently right now you couldn't get
They have,
in.
they have like I don't know, maybe now. But back then they had food, so the kids were in there.
Were there other kids in there?
Yeah, like a TGI
No.
Friday.
There was, you know what I'm saying? Like there were no other
Just
kids in the
Bud.
starting
But I would
gate.
get wings, and then I would get quarters and just go play Golden Tee
Hell
while my
yeah.
grandpa drank.
Like
with
they
his
didn't even
friends.
have kid video games. They only had adult video games.
Yeah, Golden
Exactly my
Tee and
point.
darts and pool. It was sick.
So you were already a
And wings.
It
barfly.
was sick.
You were already a barfly.
Yeah, because I just had to go when my grandpa was gone.
So do you not drink because you were just around it all the time, or you just?
No, because I'm a lightweight and I don't like the taste. You remember when we went to
You
my
liked
21st
it in New
birthday?
Orleans.
I had like 2 drinks. Remember,
Yeah.
remember my 21st birthday? And we go to BJ's and they give me a shot and I throw up on the bar and they kick us out. I throw up Wiener Schnitzel on the bar and they're like, "Oh, you guys got to leave." So we go to like Lazy Dogs.
And that was your first drink.
It was the first shot of my 21st birthday.
No,
It's-
because
what's
Buddy
that
had
one
dr-
called
Buddy had
where it's like
drank
3
before.
different?
Three wise men.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
man, they
fucking
got
terrible.
on my 30th birthday. They gave me that shit,
Yeah.
man. That was terrible.
I just threw up Wiener Schnitzel like hot dogs and chili fries on the bar and they were like, "You got to leave." I was like, "It's my first drink." And they're like, "Just leave."
It wasn't
Just
the booze. I'm
leave.
not drunk.
I like that you wanted to stay though.
Yeah, someone
wanna
clean up
drink.
this.
Well,
Someone
BJ's is
clean up
better
this.
than Lazy Dog.
Someone clean up
You
this
wanted-
puke and let it get another drink.
He wanted the fucking smiley fries.
At BJ's?
Yeah.
No,
Where's
you
smiley
get,
fries?
you get a Pizookie at BJ's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
but
anything
because
else.
they have
about
the
what I
smiley
want.
fries too, though. The happy face fries. They're shaped like a happy face.
What?
I've never seen that.
I've never seen those.
My only reason I know is my cousin was my cousin's husband was a head chef, one of the head chefs at for the company.
Well, thanks.
And every time he would have a birthday party,
TFTI.
every time they would have a birthday party, his were the best because he would have chafing dishes like the happy fries, the chicken strips, like just like bomb ass shit.
Oh, there's sure shit right here, man.
Yeah.
I put happy face, and the first thing that popped up was fries BJ's. Like,
No shit.
They still have them?
Yeah.
know.
You can even buy them at the store and like, make them at home.
Damn, this is like fucking
Yeah, that looks
terrifying.
creepy.
Show,
Yeah.
It
show
looks
on
like
your
a
camera, Johnny.
it looks like a
I'm
used
not
Scrub
eating
Daddy.
I'm
you
not
got-
eating.
Yeah, that's
You know
weird. It's
Scrub
that-
Daddy the
can't-
cleaner? That's
Yeah,
what
I
it
got
looks
one of
like
those.
right
I
there.
can't
Oh,
even
yeah,
see
I got one
it.
of
Put it
those.
closer.
Yeah.
Just scrub.
Oh
that.
shit! It does look like a Scrub Daddy.
Yeah, Scrub
What the
Daddy.
fuck?
Oh, you see
Yeah.
that video game, Little Big World? Like that little sack
Oh, yeah,
guy?
yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like him.
All right, so we talked about.
That's pretty sad.
We talked about Mama Fuzzball. We talked about Grandpa Red.
Grandpa's porn.
Yeah, Grandpa's porn. Who else am I missing? That's pretty. That would be pretty, like, pretty
Did it-
core to this movie that I keep saying that we need to make. Because I do
Well-
think Buddy's life is like, it's a movie.
Well, didn't you in high school? Didn't you have your own apartment? Was that you?
No.
So one of your friends like moved out.
No,
No, it's even. The,
I live with my
more
I
traumatic.
live with my dad, but like he didn't care, so everyone would go over there. So I had like a couple friends that lost their virginity like at the apartment, and then my dad would be drunk. So we had a 2-bedroom apartment, but for some reason he wanted to live in the dining room. So so you walk in, there's a living room, a kitchen, a dining room, and then 2 rooms. He just took over the room next to the kitchen and then just put a curtain up. And he would just sit there and drink. He was a really bad alcoholic. And so we would just walk by, and then he would tell the girls, like, "Oh, if you want a good time after,
Shut
like,
up.
come here."
Hell
And then
yeah.
he would like close his little, like, it wasn't even a curtain. It was a bed sheet that he just hung
you guys,
up.
you guys want a party?
And
Come
then
on
he had
here.
a Bowflex in there, and he didn't work out. So I don't know why he ever had a Bowflex and never worked out. He had a Bowflex, a twin bed, a TV, and then just that.
Have you
Prison.
ever been to jail? Has he been to jail a lot?
He didn't go to jail a lot, but he was like kind of in and out for.
Because that sounds
drugs.
like that's just a jail
Yeah,
setup. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
If
Like,
you were watching this
'Cause they were
on
both-
a movie,
they
you
were
would be
both
like,
super
what
into
the fuck
drugs.
am I watching?
100%, you would never believe. Oh, the dad sleeps in the fucking in the kitchen, like in the front in the dining room.
But
Get
there's
outta
just a
here.
random Bowflex that's
Right.
just chilling in there
Right.
too. Like, and like we glazed over the fact that he was like hitting on high school girls.
Oh no, I did not glaze over that at all. That was
As-
my favorite part.
As dudes were coming through to bone said high school girls
Hey, when you guys are when he's done warming you up, come on over here.
at the apartment. Like,
40s.
And let me jump on this Bowflex real quick. Give him a pump.
I just did like 1,000. I don't know if you heard me count.
He got so bad we had to tell the liquor store, Deep's Liquor across the street,
Deep's.
not to sell to him, and he agreed.
Oh shit.
So he wouldn't sell him any more booze, like any 40s or anything like that. So he had to go walk to Eddie's Liquor and get booze. But
By the way, I see what you say about it's hard not to laugh. It's the delivery, but oh fuck,
I
man.
think everyone has like a weird
no,
childhood.
no,
No.
1,000%.
No, everyone
not
has
like that,
everyone has
no.
weird stories.
sure.
It's not unique.
everyone has childhood trauma, but when you say it,
I don't know, bro.
But
I
some of
don't.
our dads lived in the bedroom.
Yeah.
He would not move
all,
into the other
you know?
bedroom. It was just empty. It was just a mattress where friends would go with girls. It's just a spare room. He just
The spare
did not,
fuck
He did
room.
not want to live in it. It
It's
was
so wild
weird.
because it wasn't the spare room. You know what I mean? It was the other. It was his bedroom. It was
And-
not.
and at one point there had to have been the first person that was like, hey, I got an idea of where we could do this.
Yeah, you know that.
You know what I
empty
mean?
room in
Like,
your house?
like it had to have been somebody who was like, Buddy's dad doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
We could smash it out there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, these are all the little, like, nuances of this story where I'm fucking so intrigued. Like, how did this become normal? How did that become normal? And it is funny, but, right? You do kind of feel like...
I see, like holy fuck, like you are living 1,000 miles an hour at a young fucking age, going through some gnarly shit.
Well, we lived in Fresno. That's when like they
Makes a lot of sense. Never mind.
started
Okay.
to fight
Okay,
a
that's,
lot.
that's normal for Fresno.
and go to jail and do speed. But it'd be like 3 a.m. I'd wake up and I'd go to the garage and they're just high as a kite. My mom is making wind chimes out of like like canned bottle caps.
Okay, yeah.
She would like paint them pink. She's like, "Oh, these are gonna sell. These are gonna sell." She's just making wind chimes, which never sold. And then my dad would just be there drinking and like playing darts, and then I would just go back to bed. And then
Please tell me you
that
have a
would-
wind chime.
Huh?
Please tell me you have.
Yeah,
I will buy
you
one.
got you got fuzzball wind
Football
chime.
wind chimes.
Are they on Etsy?
Hey, sharks.
It's funny, but it's fucked up. Because if he was...
They never sold. She tried. We'd have yard sales. We were a yard sale family.
They would sell now though.
Like
I
if-
would buy one.
Like if Buddy was a recovering addict and he was telling this story, you would be like, oh.
Sure.
Right. No, right.
But because he is so put together and again,
What's wrong with
probably
food
800 credit score guy, it's like, I don't know, not that he like persevered through it or anything, but I think because he saw so much so quickly and it kind of became normalized that he understood the gravity of it too. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that was lost on him. I think he knew like
This is
everyone's
bad.
high. Like
Yeah.
this is not good. I probably shouldn't go down this route or whatever. You know,
He's
but
probably like, I don't know how to make wind chimes.
Well,
I would be fucked.
I don't know. Do you agree with him? I mean, what do you think led you not to fall to an evil path and go down, the wrong way instead of being, Bud with the 800 credit score and the superhuman?
I don't know. I think it's part seeing that, but then my sister's the opposite. She's like, she did like all the bad shit. She has like 4 kids,
She
four,
lives in the
four
di-
baby daddies.
She lives in the dining room right now. Is that
She lives in Alaska, which is even worse.
You know what?
In Alaska, which is
That
even
is even
worse.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Isn't it always dark out there?
Well, no, that's the dining room of the United States.
I don't know, man. You start getting closer to the fucking
She's
North
like
Pole and
she's
all
the
that.
bad one.
But you wouldn't blame her though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's an understandable outcome.
Correct.
Right.
You
But
would
is
look
it-
at
but
that
no,
and
no,
you'd go,
but is it-
oh,
Because you were in the same situation. You didn't come out that way. Are you sometimes like, fuck you, you could have got out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
No, because I have friends too that have been in similar situations, not as crazy. Like, their stories are totally different. But one sister became a druggie and the other one didn't. She had her own company. She brought, all these things. And then the other one still to this day continues to blame the parents. And so she's like, you can't blame your parents forever. Because you're never going to be anything. Because they have the power to make you
The only
whole.
downside is I got really fat when my mom went to prison. So, and then it's always just been fat ever since. I think that was the one downfall. But my grandpa would just...
But if your vice is food, given what you were introduced to,
Sure.
Yeah, my mom didn't go to prison and I'm fat.
you know what I'm saying?
That has nothing to do with your mom going to jail.
Because everyone
bro.
has a vice.
Yeah.
Everyone has some kind of vice. They do. You know?
yeah.
Like, so if all things considered, I understand Steve's point where it's like you don't necessarily want to blame your environment
No. What I'm
for
saying
your
is
outcome.
that
But like that also, an impressionable young person who sees some crazy shit can start to like normalize it and go,
no,
it's
for
fine."
sure. But what I'm asking him is that because he persevered and went through it and came out on the other side, do you sometimes look at your sister and be like, "Fuck, you could have too," but you didn't. You chose not to.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is
She
the
got
question.
pregnant young, and then she had a bad relationship with an army guy, and then moved to Alaska, and then got stuck by having 2 more kids with 2 different guys who won't let her leave. And there's nothing to do in Alaska except for like do drugs. So she just kind of got caught up with got pregnant young, and then kind of went down. So
Well, I'm-
A story
guys,
as
fun, huh?
old as time.
way to line
See
it
See
up.
what I'm saying? Like
Good.
but that's a perfect example right there. When you start talking about like the serious potential outcomes.
It's like, oh yeah, I guess
of
that
how
is
it
pretty
could
shitty
have
what you're talking
gone,
about right now.
and now you're like, oh, and you really start to
Sure, the
understand
gravity.
the gravity of all of that shit. Like we're laughing and joking around, 4th graders showing their dicks, but the other side of it is, damn, 4th graders showing their dicks.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
This is right. This
Like,
is the two sides of the same coin.
That's where you're like, oh, this is funny, but I feel bad. It makes Buddy really interesting to me. Like I kind of got mad at him because he texted me. He's like, dude, I got nothing to offer these guys. Like, what are you talking about?
You got plenty,
Just
dude.
talk.
My mom would be a better guest. She has better stories of
What the fuck?
the crazy,
We
the
got
crazy
more,
shit she
We got
did.
more fuzzball in too. Don't you worry.
But the fact that somebody's saying my mom would be a good guest
Right.
Would you
Well,
remember-
in this kind of environment.
Do you remember when I
like,
recorded her when she was at the kitchen table and she was telling the stories on Instagram?
I think it's fucked up that I still haven't met Fuzzball, but
Oh
Like,
man.
why have you not met Fuzzball?
I haven't met Fuzzball.
She's at starting gate.
I would love to
Wait.
sit down next to Fuzzball and have a drink with her at the starting
Are they still in Fresno?
No. She lives down there. My dad died in 2009.
Oh, okay.
That was a funny story, too.
Tell the cruise story.
I'm about to say sorry to hear that, but
You gotta tell the cruise story.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
It's a little
So my,
traumatic.
That's another one.
my dad died. He moved to Arizona, and he just had complete organ failure from drinking. And it's during the Lakers playoffs in 2009 in April. So me and Jake were watching a Laker game, and then my uncle Mike, who I don't talk to, comes to my house, and he's like, I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, your dad's dead. He's on life support. We need someone to sign the paper, and your sister's in Alaska. So I was like, okay. So I signed it, and he's like, you want any info? And I was like, oh, the Lakers are on right now. And then Jake is like, who's that? And I was like, oh, it's my uncle. My dad's dead. And he's like, okay, cool. And then we just started watching the Lakers. And I used it for 7 days bereavement from work, which was cool. So,
Did the Lakers win that year?
yeah, that's when they won the championship.
He's like,
So,
yeah, actually they did, man.
when they beat Orlando, remember?
Yeah.
I have to text Jake right now and see if he's listening because he said that he would be. Hold on, tell the cruise story though. Please tell the cruise story.
So it's my dad's 75th birthday, so his family is going to take us on a little 3-day cruise to Ensenada. But they tell my dad, you can't come if you're still drinking. So he lies to them. He's like, oh, I'm sober. So he tries to stop drinking. When we land in Ensenada, he has a seizure on the boat.
what?
And then they take him off the boat, and they're like, he can't come back on. So they're like, someone has to ride with him, in an ambulance to the border. And I was like, fuck that. I'm 18. I get to drink and gamble on the boat. So like my sister had to ride with him all the way. So I just had the room to myself, which was like pretty sweet. But yeah, he just like seized out. We're just sleeping, and he's just, and he has a seizure because he
From
lied.
alcohol withdrawals?
Yeah, because he lied because he wanted to go
Yeah.
on a fucking cruise that bad for his dad he never talked to, who we called Grandpa Frog for some reason, because they collected frogs. So they just became Grandpa and Grandma Frog.
See, there's like
Which was
wholesome
weird.
shit.
But his
There's
mom,
wholesome hints.
he grew up in Carson, and he went to Wilmington. my
Damn, shout out Weemos.
My grandma lived in Wilmington, and then I went to Carson Street Elementary for a few years.
I know right where that's at.
When my mom, no grass, all gravel.
Yeah.
It's the worst playground. There's no grass. It's just all gravel. You just skin.
That's
your
why
knees,
you're showing your
you
pee-pees,
skin your knees
bro.
like every day.
It's gravel and asphalt.
You know what?
That's
I
it.
think if Ramon would have grown up in a fucking park like that, I think rat tails wouldn't scare you that
So I
much.
lived in a
Yeah,
camper
dude.
with
No.
my dad
Nope.
in Carson, in his sister's driveway for like a year while I was going to third grade at Carson Street Elementary.
I think that's maybe why like you're pretty brown. Like Buddy's Buddy the
Hilarious.
white dude, but Buddy's like brown. Buddy's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant something.
Nah, Buddy's food choices.
Mexican
but
girls.
he's like, yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna say it like that, but you know, like, Buddy's pretty brown.
Is that what you meant by food choices?
No. No, I'm not like Buddy spices everything up.
Well, it's because when I lived in Santa Ana, and then I went to that school, and there's like 2 white guys and just all Mexican girls when we lived there for like a year with my mom's boyfriend. And then he pulled a gun on us, so we left him.
What? Just over that?
My
That's all you can't-
my mom broke up with him.
You
and
can't
then
pull a gun on your girlfriend and her kids
He
anymore?
thought
You're
like my
I thought this-
mom was
I
like
thought this
cheating,
America.
so he woke us up with like a revolver. He was like, "Your mom's a whore," and I was like, "Okay, like, well, what's going on?"
What do you want? What do you
How
want?
old?
what do you-
How old were you when you had a gun pulled on you?
This was 8th grade. I was the first class to go to
Oh, so like a man, you were a grown up.
Mendes.
Definitely seen some
Mendes
dicks and some titties by
Fundamental.
that point. Apparently,
It's a junior high school in Santa Ana. It's like right next to the college. It's a fundamental school. It's like block schedule, and girls can't wear jewelry.
Right next to the Target.
Yeah, and that's when I
oh, the one that looks like kind of jailish. Yeah,
they
yeah,
would make me take. Sorry guys, but I had a tongue ring. They would take
Hell
my tongue
yeah.
ring out. I got a tongue ring in 7th grade because my sister.
Did you
was,
just do it at the school by yourself? And
My
you-
Why,
sis- my
why
sister
did you
was
get a
gonna-
tongue ring?
My sister was gonna get one of my mom's like, "Do you want one?" And I was like, "I'm in 7th grade," and she's like, "Well, you could get one." So I was like, "All right, sick." So
right,
I
sick.
had a tongue ring till I was 20. Sadly, I admit, but
Still got my lip ring. Don't care. You need to do stand-up comedy just to go tell your story.
nah.
I think he needs his own special.
Yeah.
It would be an episode just at random. Like I've had a few different like moments where I'm like, I don't understand why this isn't a show. Like if I had the money, I would 100% produce it. And I don't think the premise would be anything other than Buddy, just a situation like this. Like the tongue ring is an episode. Because he just casually was like, yeah, my mom was like, you can get one if you want one. Like, what the fuck?
Where you
my
have to
mom
be the
didn't
parent,
talk to me
you're
for
like,
like a
I'm-
month when she found out I had a tattoo.
You're like, I'm in the 7th grade. She's like, yeah, well, you can get one.
Yeah.
Like, what are you fucking?
What does that have to
like,
do with it?
Why are you being a bitch? Like, you want your fucking tongue pierced or not?
Your mom, whose name is Fuzzball, was she Fuzzball at that time? Not yet, right?
Well, she got out when I was in 6th grade.
Okay, so she was already
out.
Fuzzball. She had already made several wind chimes, and she's now telling her 7th grade son that yeah, he can get a tongue ring if he wants.
Quit being a fucking baby. Let's get that
Yeah.
tongue pierced.
Yeah.
You're lucky
like-
I don't do it at home.
The bitches are gonna love it.
cool.
Let's go.
She worked at the Rooster. Remember the Rooster?
Yeah, the white rooster.
The white
right?
rooster. And then she was dating. I told you that when she was dating the guy who worked at Los Alamitos racetrack, the little Mexican guy,
No.
one of the horse trainers. Yeah. So I went to his. They live like in the stables, like the horse trainer people. They like live on the grounds.
Yeah.
And she was staying with him for a while, and so like I would go over there sometimes to get money from her. And then it was just a guy who like spoke like really no English, but they would just go dancing. My mom loved dancing, so he was like a vaquero, and they would just go dancing.
shit.
And they dated for like probably like 8 months.
So a day in the life
Los,
of Buddy.
Los Alamitos racetrack. It was
Yeah.
just
They have,
pulled
they
in
have
there.
little homes back there?
Yeah, like the guys that like work on the horses, like
Oh,
they
yeah.
live like they have like little like 1-bedroom like shacks and stuff like that. I don't know if they do now.
They had
but
hay on the ground.
They did back then.
A trough.
So you would jerk off to Grandpa Red's porn. Then you would go play Golden Tee at the bar.
Starting gate.
And then you would go
Home to get a
No,
gun
he
pulled
get
out
free
on him.
wings.
some
Free
money.
wings, though. We can't forget the free
The
wings.
wings were good. Yeah.
What flavor? What flavor?
Hot buffalo.
Just buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, these are all things that like you would think like a early 20-something-year-old barfly would be doing.
Yeah, this fool's fucking 10 years old.
And I don't think he was 13. I don't think he was 13. Or like pre-13, he had already had a gun pulled on him. Like, I don't have those kind of stripes.
Yeah.
I do
me
not have
too.
those kind of stripes.
Yeah.
Like, so when he was like, yeah, I don't have anything to talk to these guys about. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You 100% do. Aside from, let's say you weren't the cable dude and you didn't walk into fucking feces and cockroaches and rats all day. Ugh. Let's say you didn't do that. Like, it could just be like your childhood story. Like, Everyone Hates Chris was a fucking super hit. Like, and
Sure.
that show was just about some dude who didn't like his dad, who was, by all accounts, a stand-up dad. You just
Yeah,
expect
Terry
you to-
Crews,
yes.
he was buff.
Terry Crews was just a stand-up dude.
Yeah, he's a good dad.
Like,
But I'm sure like everyone in the chat, watching, listening, they all have like funny childhood stories.
I mean, not as good as that.
It's
No,
not, it's not
it's a
that
big
unique.
difference.
Let-
I will say, buddy, yeah, your stories are pretty not normal. Everyone does have some weird shit, for sure. Not everyone's family is on the up and up or have their shit together. I mean, there's struggles with everybody, and you make means happen however they need to happen. And obviously, you're alive, sir. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. You got
Yeah, you're alive. You're alive.
it
And doing good.
It sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders with an 800 fucking credit score. Good job.
White privilege.
Free cable.
And
White privilege.
free fucking $250 bundle fucking cable of
Yeah.
everything you can watch.
All the fastest internet, all the stuff.
Are you ever concerned that the company is going to find like some of the posts you do occasionally? Like, have you ever been narked
I don't
out?
think you do anymore. I haven't seen anything crazy.
Unless they're like really bad or funny.
There's been a couple where I'm like,
But I don't put like people in them though.
no.
Yeah,
Like, you keep
yeah,
everything
yeah.
anonymous. There's no like you.
There's no logos like even for your company or nothing on there.
No, like you wouldn't even know what company you work for.
Unless you're like my
you know what I
friend,
mean?
you know,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I work for.
Right. Like I know that, but like, like, eventually,
Like we
I'd
were
be
talking about
scared.
Popeyes earlier. I was at a Popeyes like this past Friday for a job, and it's weird. Like
please don't tell me anything fucking bad about Popeyes.
Tell us.
No, don't. It's fine.
It's just-
Like, don't say it.
You're gonna ruin it.
just dirty, but they fry it. so.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
dusty in the back. I mean, it's normal.
That's
Yeah,
good,
but you're
man.
cleaning it up now. You saw something.
No, he
You're a
did.
fucking
He did.
liar. He did. He did.
Yeah, he did.
He 100% did.
Can I ask you a question? Who did this astronaut lady on the back of your forearm right here?
His name is Matt Cannon. He works at Torch Tattoo in Anaheim. He did the Mars Attacks and the two girls. So
Torch
Okay.
Tattoo.
Torch Tattoo in
This is
Anaheim.
Torch Tattoos.
Matt
Tattoo
Cannon.
Show.
So for those who can't see Buddy right now, if you're not watching, if you're listening, thank you for listening across all your audio platforms. Make sure you guys follow the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. But Buddy is covered from all his arms and all his legs and tattoos, and you're like a walking billboard. Why do you have logos? I mean, okay, so yeah, so you have an astronaut lady, cool. You have the Mars Attacks. You have, I think I saw
Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel, Jack from Jack in a Box. I think
Norms.
Norms. I know you had a
Fat Burger.
slush puppy.
Yeah, Fat Burger.
You had a slush puppy on there. Now, are these all your favorite places? Are these theirs? Are you being paid to advertise these businesses
Norms.
on
I
you?
think Norms gave you free, right?
No.
Norms. I love you, Norms.
Dude.
I love you, Norms.
F
but-
Norms.
Yeah.
And I don't say that lightly. Because I love Norms. I love Norms.
But I don't give the tattoos to get free stuff.
But they offered it, right?
Norms is sick, so they have a sick sign.
Norms is sick.
Fat Burger has a cool sign, so I got Fat. I love Fat Burger though.
Fat Burger
too.
is a good burger. It's just
Fat Burger.
expensive as fuck.
Jack
Wait,
in the
wait.
Box
So,
tacos.
It's not that bad compared to other food. now.
Norm
It's
sent
the
him like a
same.
coupon.
Nah, bro. it
wait,
is
a coupon?
crazy.
Just a coupon.
Norm sent him a coupon.
Not even like a free meal coupon. Like here's $5 off if you spend $20 kind of coupon or something.
It's not even a real coupon.
Yeah, not even like a coffee mug.
Like, what idiot saw that opportunity to like potentially like go viral?
Something,
Like, damn,
sure.
somebody had enough sand to tattoo, and it's not small. It's the back of his fucking calf.
Norms.
it's the where life happens sign. It's huge. And when I saw it, I was like, man, because he had always talked about it. And then he just posted it one day, and I was like, motherfucker, I can't believe he went and got that tattoo. He really went and got it. So the first thing I thought is, all right, well, the second somebody from Norm Socials sees that, if it was me, you eat for life. You would eat for
Absolutely.
life. Like, you, no problem. Like, your meal is on us for good. Like, they sent him a coupon for like $5 off if you spend a certain amount. That's worse than if you just sent
Tell them to
nothing.
fuck off.
You might as well not send shit at all.
You might as well just send nothing.
Right. Not
Like-
even acknowledge it at that point.
Like, it's I don't know. It is a little like NASCAR-ish, but it's funny. Like, it's funny. Like,
You're like those race car fucking jackets with the Alvina fucking jacket,
Exactly, yeah.
just covered in head to toe. So what started that? You just liked the logos and just wanted to get them all pasted on you?
Yeah, I mean, I love Wiener Schnitzel, chili dogs, chili cheese fries.
Damn, you love that
Jack-
shit enough to get it pasted on you. Like, fuck yeah, Wiener Schnitzel, bitch, for life.
Plus,
Well,
like,
I
plus,
think-
hey, West Coast.
West
Pop Lock Pop. Right there. see?
But you know what? Once you start getting tattoos and you have so many, like, does it really matter?
I don't even have a lot. I have so much room left. It's
he's got a lot.
You have a lot of tattoos.
yeah,
You
but
you have the
not-
Monopoly guy with a dagger through his head. You have your puppy on there.
Well, when you get AIDS tattooed
you
on
have
your
a
leg,
fucking
De La
De La Rosa Mazapan tattoo.
delicious.
Have you tried
Delicious.
Have you tried the chocolate ones?
yes,
Fucking
they're
phenomenal.
all delicious.
There's a
Lego blocks.
tattoo
Oh,
buddy
gummy
has on
bears.
his knee.
Oh, gummy bears. I'm
he
sorry.
showed it to him. He showed it to us.
Wait, what?
You guys have seen the knee tattoo.
Wait, what about the knee
I
tattoo?
didn't see
What's on his knee?
It's the AIDS one. You have one too, though.
You have,
Yeah,
wait,
let's talk about yours,
he
Ramon.
got one too.
wait. Ramon has a tramp stamp, right?
No, well, no, worse. I have like one of those like professional wrestler tribals in between my shoulders.
Hell yeah.
Not kidding.
Fucking barbed
Fine,
wire
whatever.
over here.
Yeah.
Fuck
I mean,
yeah.
it's the step down from the barbed wire around your arm. It's the same thing.
Right,
Like-
right.
Like in the scale of like tramp stamps, it's the
Sure.
same thing.
just
Like,
higher. Just,
whatever.
It's
Like-
on your back.
Whatever. It is. Dude, we just got back from family vacation, and every time I'm getting ready to take off my shirt, I cringe.
Hilarious.
Because someone's gonna look at it and like,
They're seeing it for the first time.
and they're just
like,
gonna go like, look at this fucking nerd.
look at this guy.
You know, but like whatever. I like what
Hey,
am I
you
gonna
know
do?
what
Hide
though?
it? Like,
Hey, you should still rep that shit because you still sat through it. You got that motherfucker.
Paid
inked.
good money for it.
Fuck yeah! So
Have you
I would
seen-
still
have
rep
you
that
seen
shit.
his stomach one?
Wait, you have a stomach one?
I have a big stomach.
Show it.
Shut the fuck up! What do you got on your
Show it,
stomach?
to, show it to the camera.
Oh wait! What do you have on your stomach? Thug Life?
Just show it.
No,
Long
no,
Beach?
No.
Strong Beach?
Show it.
We must.
We might-
Show it.
Louisiana Fried Chicken.
No.
It's
I have
worse.
I have a
Worse.
gigantic cupcake that says "Mama's Boy" through it.
Hell yeah.
No, you don't. Do you
do.
really?
Show it.
Show
Why
it.
would he make
Show
that
it.
up?
Show it.
Are we really?
Show it.
Are we really
Show
gonna
it.
tattoos now?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good
it's a
one.
big
Oh shit! That thing is
it says
huge.
Mama's Boy on it. Well, it's gotten bigger.
Fun stuff.
But I only got it because everyone else that I knew did have wee moss across their stomach, or they had.
Sure.
Like, I went to school with a dude that has 90744. Like, you have your fucking postal code on your stomach? Like, you don't even own a home there. Like, you rent in that area and you have that across
You
your
don't
stomach.
even rent that your parents rent.
Yeah.
My
You live in the dining room, bro.
Yeah, like,
Like my dad.
my cousin has 310 tattooed on his arm, and that motherfucker don't even live here. He lives in Nevada now. I'm like, hey, how's that shit working for you?
it just,
702 now, bitch.
Dude,
it felt fake. Like, that's not really
Sure.
me. So
And
it was
if you
just-
have the nameplate on your back,
No.
your
that's
your
right.
jersey on your no, okay. That's good.
But see, I knew several people with that.
Yeah, the nameplate.
It was either your neighborhood or your last name.
Yeah.
And I was the guy who had color in his tattoos, so it was even worse. It was like, like, why do you got tattoos like a white boy? Like, I don't even know what that means, but yeah, like, I guess. So I just ran with it.
They can afford
and I
color.
did it even more. Like, so I don't.
By the way, how many hours did you have to sit through that? Because that's almost like your entire stomach from fucking side to side. You have that traditional sailor style like font on there. It looks nice. The colors fucking, I'm sure they were popping in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah.
What a nice little
I
backhanded
don't remember how long.
compliment.
Yeah, it was back then. Yeah, that shit was popping like 20 years ago. No, it would. I mean, I don't remember how long it was. It was.
Because that's a huge piece,
It was a
dude.
couple different times.
That's not even like, it's a small, like, dude, that is like,
It's big as fuck.
that is big, dude.
I don't remember much about it. What I do remember is when I was done. Fuck, this should have told me like, man, this is the start of something terrible. So like, I'm standing there with my shirt off, and like, I've always kind of been a chubbier dude. So I'm standing there and I'm trying my hardest to like not look like gross, you know, just like not sucking it in, but like extra
getting good
tight
posture,
you know, like
stand up straight.
And there were a couple of girls in there that were just like looking at like maybe I want to get a tattoo, just like cruising around the flash.
Yeah.
They saw yours and walked right out, or what?
No, they saw it and they pretended like they liked it. You know what I mean? But I vividly remember this. Vividly, I don't remember much else, but I vividly remember this. The other one of them says to the other girl, she's like, "He's totally sucking in his stomach." I was like, "Fuck those bitches! Man, fuck those bitches! Fuck them, dude!" She totally whispered it. I'm like, "Man, fuck."
So
like,
there's
Dude, after getting that giant piece.
so there's
here
a
I am
guy-
thinking I'm cool, and it's like, nah, dude, it's
100
never gonna happen.
So this dude Scott Harrison, who's like big shot tattooer, was getting tattooed by Ed Hardy, the biggest of big shot tattooers, and he's doing his whole front, and it's a devil. It's a devil with his tongue sticking out with a chick sitting on the tongue, you know. And so that's his whole fucking front. And a chick comes and sees him doing that, and she was like, "You're never gonna get laid again." You know, this is a stranger who tells him like you're never gonna get laid again. So he's looking, he's like, "Fuck that," and he went back and had Ed put, "I will fuck you all," and then that chick ended up being his girlfriend for like 2 years. Like after that, he's like, "Fuck, you don't tell me I'm never gonna get laid again."
But I wonder why.
Because the big devil head with the chick sitting on his top. I mean, it's an offensive tattoo. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I
there's
can
guys
imagine-
that get fucking laid with swastikas on their chest.
This is all very true.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like,
asking me
why
to crawl.
that?
You're asking me to crawl into the mind of a woman. I just, you know.
So as I'm learning about Buddy, he's been through some. You've experienced life way younger than anyone else has. You've been doing some rad shit that no other fucking. God.
He would tell you not rad. But
Yeah, he's like, everything I told you was terrible.
it was a Tuesday. Like,
We were jumping bikes and you were getting a tongue piercing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Off the curves.
This is my argument the entire time because everyone's like, "Oh, we all have crazy stories."
No, you
Not
don't.
like that, man. Like,
I know a lot of people, and no one that I know has those stories at that age. I mean, I have a lot of friends that ended up in jail for stupid ass shit, prison or what have you, but they were older already.
Yeah, later on.
At a high school, they were doing stupid ass shit, or I've heard of all kinds of crazy shit.
Like, I know people that
But
had
not
people
7.
living in their dining room, but it wasn't their dad.
With an extra
It was their
room.
drug addict. Right. Exactly.
right, it was like their derelict uncle. You know what I mean? Who like couldn't get his shit together or something like that.
With a Bowflex.
And they absolutely did not have an extra room.
Hey, them shits were expensive back in
And
the
if
day.
they did have an extra room, it wasn't like allowed for my
Absolutely.
son's teenage friends to come over and fucking it.
Go play Stinky Finger in there.
Because
You're right. You're right.
you just got out of you just got out of sixth period and like, hey buddy, can we cruise over to your house?
Well,
Can we go to the fuck party?
my mom would buy her weed from a guy I went to high school with, Mario.
Hilarious.
So I didn't live with her in high school, but I lived with my dad, but my mom didn't live far. So Mario and Angel would be like, "Oh, I saw your mom this weekend."
Your mom
like
says,
we
"What's
hung
up?"
out with her.
Your mom says hi.
She would buy drugs from them, which is kind of weird.
Awesome.
Would she buy you drugs?
Huh?
Would she buy you drugs?
Yeah, I would smoke with her and my dad. Since
Oh, that's nice.
Since like
At least-
7th or 8th grade.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense. See, there's still family bonding amongst the craziness, and
Get
I mean
out of here.
the family that gets high together stays together.
As
Get
strange
the
as that
fuck
is,
out of
I
here.
do kind of see something wholesome though in it because at least it like I guess maybe I'm comparing it to my experience where it was like, man, drugs in any form are fucking terrible.
Sure.
Like, you know, so yeah, if you had a parent or a pair of parental figures that were like, yeah, like I'll treat you like enough of an adult to be like, if you want to smoke with us, sure.
Yeah.
Like, have at it. Like, have some of ours. So there is something a little wholesome to that, as warped as that might be. But I could, again, it's one of those things I could picture.
Now, really quick, touching on that, was that something where your parents like, hey, do you want to try this with us, or is it one of the things that you were like?
She would say like, if you want to try something, do it like while I'm here with you. So if something happened, you know what I mean.
Okay.
So, but then it was just pot and just smoke. So she would pick me up in the morning to drive me to high school. We'd have my dog Sandy in the back, and we would smoke on the way there. And then for some reason, she would always fucking burn out of the high school driveway. with my dog.
Well, your mom's doing
my dog,
burnouts.
not Sandy, Pumpkin. She would have her head out, and she would just burn out all the time. They would tell her,
Fuzzball doing burnouts.
They would tell her like, stop doing that, like stop burning out, and she
And
would
she's
just
like, "Oh, sure, absolutely, I would never do it
yeah,
again."
she would just burn out.
Fuck you, nerds!
So we would just smoke, and then she would burn out.
Hey,
and
bro.
pumpkins in the back. just chilling.
Fuzzball's burning out for sure.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it?
She was driving my grandpa. It was after her dad died. It was his Ford truck.
Hell yeah, dude! Truck burnouts. It's fucking
even harder to do.
The tail's getting all squirrely when she's coming out.
She's been doing street takeovers before they were even fucking cool,
Yeah.
man. Shit.
Dude, you know the
dude,
parking lot, the western parking lot right there on Orange. She was just burned out. for
Dude,
some
in the
reason.
movie, the plates would say Fuzzball.
Absolutely.
Had to.
Of course.
100%.
By the way, she would have already had a mural of herself, like with printing the fuzzball on the back of the truck.
Something.
But the cool thing about visiting Fuzzball was in the visiting room, you could bring a shitload of quarters because they had these huge vending machines. So me as like a fat kid, it was awesome. We would drive out there with like $100 of quarters, but their vending machines had like 1 liter sodas because they could buy stuff and take it back to their cell. So we would buy a bunch of shit, but they had like pizzas already heated up, all that stuff. So I would go there and I'm just chilling, eating a bunch of food. And then my mom's like, "Oh, that lady like killed her baby." And she's like, "Oh, that's one of the Manson girls." Like one of the Manson ladies ran the like Jesus Christ Arts and Crafts. So like I got to meet her.
Sure.
So that was cool. But she would just be like, "Oh, this lady did this to her husband." So she would just like point out like all the weird shit
She
they
lets
would
you know
do.
the crimes.
But then I was just sitting there because I would just be eating pizza and drinking like Pepsi, like 1 liters. And it's like, oh, okay, cool, see you, Mom. And then like we would leave. But she had like it easy. She had like my grandpa would get her, like she had like a TV in her cell, so she wasn't like doing like really bad time. I mean, I guess it's bad when you're in prison, but
Yeah.
she's in CIW, which is like a women's prison. which
Every
is
woman
not
that I know that
bad.
went to prison comes out. I was like, it was pretty sweet.
yeah, she had like a TV or radio. She getting like 1 liters and stuff.
Hot
like
pizza.
You can have 1 liters and pizza.
That was like
Better
the
than my
highlight.
life.
So you would look forward to going to see your mom in jail because of the snacks.
Mainly, yeah. Because I knew like nothing was bad going to happen to her. You know what I mean? She's only there for like 2 years, so it was.
By the time you missed her, she was home.
Yeah, snacks
Yeah,
are cool.
this is super fast.
So with Buddy and all the training of life that got you to your job, at this point, nothing surprises you? You've never been surprised at any of the job locations you've been to, or
That's a good question. There's got to be something.
There's just like people collect a lot of weird stuff. So and then people say a lot of weird stuff to you, and I was always figuring out like why do people feel so comfortable? Like if you go to like a restaurant, like unless it's like a crazy person, they're not gonna say something like super racist or just super weird.
I collect
You know
shrimp
what I mean?
tails.
Well, I figured it's like anyone that works at a business where you're going to their house, like they're comfortable in their house.
Right.
So they're gonna be like who they are. Like
The most who they are.
It doesn't matter. Like I'm walking in, like your house is a pigsty. They're like, oh, you're supposed to call me 20 minutes ahead so I can clean up. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's no cleaning this up.
Like,
But
what were you gonna do?
Yeah.
so they just like people just say like the weirdest shit to me. I think it's because I'm also like a white guy, so they think like I agree with some.
They think
of
you're
their-
gonna write on.
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. So they
Yeah,
just say
yeah.
like they say the
Trump said-
weird
Like January
the weirdest
6th,
shit.
brother.
Yeah, they just say like the weirdest stuff, and you're just like an old lady just starts crying, and you're like,
She started crying as soon as you got there.
she would like they cry a lot. Like it's weird. Like not old ladies, but like
People in general.
people just they just cry, and she's like, oh, my husband used to take care of this, but he passed away, and then she'll start
Oh, yeah.
crying, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, so you need like a new remote? Like I don't know what to do. It's uncomfortable for me
Need
as
some
well.
batteries. I got some
Yeah,
batteries.
it's like okay, here's this, I guess, So it's but people say a lot of weird stuff, but they collect.
When you press the little house, it brings you back to the main menu.
But there was one collection I remember. So I go in their backyard, and they have little like jockey gnomes, but they're all in blackface.
Yeah.
Like they're not black statues.
Oh yeah, no.
They're like white jockeys, but with black face, which is weird because there's not even white jockeys. Like most of the jockeys aren't white.
They're not.
But yeah, and then I'm like,
Seabiscuit's a total lie.
I'm like, okay, this is weird, but whatever. And then I go inside the house, and throughout the whole house is nothing but blackface, like memorabilia of like advertisements of like this company used to do it, this company, like dolls, movie posters.
What the fuck?
And then she's like, oh, I know what you're thinking. And I was like, I was like, no, you don't. She's like, oh, she's like, we collect it so like it's history, so it doesn't repeat itself. And she's like, kind of like how they shouldn't tear down these Confederate statues. Like, we need history. She's like, so I just preserve it. And I was like, but your whole house is it? Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started thinking when I said earlier, like Coon's Chicken, you know, like Ghost World.
That's
Yeah.
the exact imagery. Yeah.
But then, so that was just like a weird house because there was just little dolls everywhere, and it's just blackface, 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 black. And they're like, oh, we're just collectors. We're just preserving it. And it's like, okay, I don't think you are. But
Yeah.
That one like
For
really
who?
stood out. It was just really weird.
Other than the blackface memorabilia, give me the second weirdest.
Collection?
I feel a lot of
Just-
like
Okay,
dildos
so-
coming.
Just
on.
anything, and it doesn't have to be a collection,
There's
but just
gotta
where
be, there's
we're
gonna be a dildo.
This
story in
was
there
this is a
somewhere.
long time ago. I'm at this girl's apartment. She's probably college age, and I'm moving stuff in her closet, and out falls a box of used condoms, and there's stuff written on it, and I'm like, damn it, like why did this fall? So I call her in the
Why did this fall?
I call her in the room. I'm like, hey, like I was moving stuff and this fell over, and she has like no shame. She's like, oh, she's like, it's an art project I'm doing, and then she starts explaining to me. She's like, oh, so I've been collecting condoms, and then she's like, I wash them out, obviously. And she's like, but I write their name, I write like their ethnicity, their size, and then I rate them. And she's like, I'm gonna make a big collage for my like final art project for school. So she just has this whole collection of used condoms with guys' info and like rating them, their dick size, ethnicity, like how long they like all the stats, like a Topps baseball card. Like
Yeah.
you turn it over, and there's stats. And then she was like, oh, she just picked them up and just put them back. And she was like, okay, there you go.
Number one, they were condoms that were being used on her, or was she collecting them from random people?
Used on her.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Is there a buddy condom?
No,
Okay.
we do not do that.
You raw dogged her. That's what I like to hear. Yeah.
Now, speaking of which, have
Dude,
you
I
been?
give up
Have
on
you
life.
been?
That's-
Have you been in a scenario where people throw themselves at you, or they're expecting to get
never.
fucked? Nope, never.
I've maybe
Not even dudes.
I've had like dudes stand just in their underwear in front of me the whole time.
Stroking
It
it.
was just kind of well. If you want to know like a funny story,
Yes, of course.
That's all we want. to know.
so back then we used to have like Playboy Channel, Penthouse, and other adult channels you could buy. And this guy makes a trouble call because one of his adult channels is like tiling breaking up and the noise is going out. And I get there and I'm like, okay, and I can see he's a gay guy who gives a shit, but he's like, oh, this channel's not working, so he turns it on and it's gay porn. So I have to stand there with him and watch like gay porn until it breaks up so I can find out like what's happening. So we're doing that, and then I'm like, okay. So I started doing my troubleshooting. I'm like, okay, I got it fixed. So we have to watch it again to make sure it doesn't happen. And it's I don't know the porn name, but they're doing like a spoof on Vietnam. So there's like
That's probably like a play on Full Metal Jacket.
there's like
or
yeah,
something
there's like
that.
Asian actors and there's white actors.
My dick's
And
hard already.
We're just standing there watching it, and it's just silence. And then one of the, I swear, one of the background actors, one of the white guy, he goes, Viet cock, and then I just lose it. I just lose it. And this guy starts laughing because it's like the funniest line I've ever heard in like a movie or a porn, like Viet cock. And it was just a great, whoever that guy was, that was like a great improv. I don't know if it was written in the script, but he said that, and then me and this guy just started laughing, and then he's like, yeah, I know it's weird, but I was like, yeah, man, like, cool. And I was like, I think it's fixed. And then I just left. But no, I've never been hit on. I think, even if they were, I'm not too, what's that word? I can't pick up on that, though.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So they
I'm like,
prob- they
I'm like
could have been,
oblivious to it.
sure.
Yeah.
Can I nerd out really quick? For you to fix this dude's pixelating problem in gay porn, what did Buddy have to do? What to fix that for him?
Well, first I had to find out what they call like, this is boring now, but like what frequent.
Not
what,
tomorrow. That's just his point.
I want to know why he can't get his Viet cock on, and what you had to do to fix that for
It
him.
was just the frequency coming in was bad, and it was just like weathered connectors outside that I just changed out and fixed, and that channel frequency started working better.
Yeah, see, not all motherfucking heroes wear capes.
Dude,
It was just funny that Viet cock thing was like
Yeah.
I still think about that like randomly. I'll just be like, I'm at house. I'm like,
Viet Cong.
Viet Cong. I just went on a binge of watching like 10 Vietnam movies too.
Hey, you know,
Apocalypse Now,
not
Hamburger
one,
Hill, Full Metal Jacket. Not one
not
Viet
one
Cong.
time did they say Viet Cong in that whole
exactly.
fucking movie.
You're an eater, bro. So has anyone ever offered you food?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I've got the best.
But it's terrible.
No.
It's got to be because
This lady's house, she made the best fried. What are those rolls?
Lumpias.
Like yes,
lumpia.
the best I've ever had. She was just making them in her backyard in like a little pot, handmade. This family, and they were delicious. But yeah, when I used to work the later shift, so I used to work 12 to 9. So like I would get more food at
More
that
dinner,
time because people
yeah.
were like having dinner,
Sure.
stuff like that. So I'd get more food that time.
By the way, that's fucked up. You are working at night and outside bringing wires in and crawling through shit. I mean, I guess it's going to be dark no matter what, but fuck, dude. What the hell?
Yeah, they have guys every holiday too. I've worked. This past Christmas was the first Christmas I took off. So literally it'd be 8 a.m. and I'm in someone's house while they're celebrating Christmas. They're just opening presents and I'm just there and they're like, oh, the internet's over there. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll go fix it.
Not
And
a
they're
cookie, not a
Some
candy.
people will give you some stuff.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving you might get like a slice of pie or something like that. But yeah, they just act like it's a normal day that you're there to fix it at that time. And they're just in their pajamas opening gifts and
You see how like
It's
his
kinda
life
weird.
kind of hardwired him to be like
Sure.
that?
Focus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And very much like it gave him life skills for this job in particular. You know what I mean?
100%.
Absolutely.
Because most of us would be like,
Affected in some way.
yeah, like you feel like
Watching his
you're
happy
missing out,
family, like-
oh, like
But I
I'm
get
not here, like-
bad I get bad surveys though. You know, like when you
What?
You know, people because they like I'm not too friendly, and they sometimes
I wouldn't be too friendly either if there were roaches and rats and
yeah.
blackface memorabilia, and I probably wouldn't
You should
be
be able to
the
rate your
most important
customer.
person in the
There
world.
was-
But I don't want my cable guy to be happy.
There
I want
was-
you to fix the cable.
Yeah.
What do I care
Yeah.
if you're happy or
If
not?
anyone
Like,
comes to your house to fix anything, tell them their problem and show them where it is and leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like I've had people follow me under their house. People follow me into their attic. Like I get it's your home and like you could walk around with me, but like dudes have like crawled under the house with me, crawled in the attic with me, or just followed me to my truck, back. Like what are you doing? Just you know what I mean. So just leave us alone.
They're
and
just
let
being
us-
nosy? Are they afraid you're going to steal something from
I
them?
don't
Or
know.
like, that's
I've-
weird.
I got one complaint that I stole a Dude Where's My Car DVD. This was like in 2009. I
Spectacular.
didn't steal it, obviously.
I mean, I would
but
have.
I got a call for that, and then I got one
hold on.
customer survey call.
How was that complaint filed? Did they call?
They called in, yeah.
They called.
And they
so
said,
someone called and
they
said,
said your tech was out here. Now we can't find our Where's My
Dude, Where's My Car DVD.
So my boss had to call me and go, hey, did you steal the Dude Where's My Car DVD? And I said no, and he goes, okay. But I had one CSAT where she left a message, and me and my boss were listening to it, and we were laughing. She's like, he did his job, he fixed it. She's like, but I'm very concerned about him. He had very sad eyes. And she's like, he made me very sad. She's like, so I just want to say he did a good job. I just want you guys to check up on him because I think something might be wrong.
They're like,
Holy
cheer your man
fuck.
up, man. What the fuck's
And
going
me and my boss,
on?
because my boss knows my personality because I work for him, and you know what I mean. We joke around, so he knows that I'm not. But it's just funny to hear that because I guess my face when I go to the house, it's so like Groundhog Day. It's just like, okay, what's your problem? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I'm not too chatty because some people just will talk, and it's like you can't get no work done. So I just like, okay, let me go do that. So they think it's kind of rude, but it's like you want me to fix your problem, get out of your house like as quick as possible.
Right.
Some people don't like that, but so yeah. So
do you ever think about like front loading people and just go, hey, like if I come across as like Kurt,
You give
it's
a little,
not.
you give
know,
a little
It's not
card.
that I'm being a dick. I
No.
just I want to make sure that I get this done, and I.
You give him a little
I
card
did,
that says it's not
you know.
you, it's me. Like, here you go. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like a little
Yeah.
I'm
front-loading
not rude,
information.
but I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just some way I put off that weird vibe. I guess
It's so sad eyes.
It's like you're dead on the inside and they can see it. It's all good, man.
it was just funny because my boss was just laughing.
I'm
They
more
set it up.
concerned about the DVD. Like You
like,
have to,
like a $5 Walmart DVD.
you have to be a piece of shit.
Not even the case. They're like
To
just
call.
the DVD.
Just
So,
a disc.
so I just walked out with the disc, like on my pinky or something. Not
Like,
even
hey,
the
where's the
case.
dude? Where's my car DVD?
Yeah, it's not
oh,
even
the
in the
fucking
case.
cable guy was here yesterday, dude. That shit
Yeah.
is gone now. Let's put 2 and 2 together.
He was screaming-
and then they called about it. Like they called.
Yeah.
Like, what if he did have
He's
it?
like,
What
I
was the
know what
plan? Am I gonna
happened.
Return it.
I know he took it because he kept saying, and then
Yeah,
it wasn't there, and then it wasn't there.
We use that all the time. We make fun of because you'll be at someone's house and you'll finish, and then they'll be like, "Oh, and then I need this."
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Okay," and they'll be like, "Oh, and then
And
I need
that's
this."
why he took the DVD.
And then I need this, and it's like, "Oh man, just tell us what you need right up front." Now when we're almost done,
Well, that's why
help us out.
like doctors say that if anything that someone wild is gonna say, it's never gonna be till the end. Like you'll go in there, you'll be like, oh, you check your heart out, you do all this stuff, and it's like, all right, well, I guess that's it. Is there anything? No, I'm good, doctor. Okay. By the way, I have like
Exactly,
a rope
yeah.
tied around my dick, and it won't. It's like, why the fuck didn't you lead with that? What's going on?
I've had numbness on the left side of my body for the last 3 months. or
Right.
some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you don't save that till the end. That's what you lead with.
Do you get calls for people that where they're like, it's an obvious problem? Because I think that would
that's
probably
like-
be that would
that's-
frustrate me more than anything else.
That's like 80% of our calls are like wrong input.
Or the remote control needs batteries.
Yeah,
that was the thing I was gonna say.
batteries,
Like you need batteries.
Cable
like,
box isn't turned on. Like half,
no fucking
half
way.
this lady's house had no electricity, and that's where like her modem was. And I was like, "Ma'am, like half your house has no electricity." Like this
She's
is,
like, yeah, but what does that have to do with the
she's
cable
like,
box?
She's like, well, yeah. What? I'm like, well, it uses like electricity. Like, yeah, because they'll send you. They send us out for anything. So
Sure.
you don't have to like tell them the problem. You could just say send a tech
I want a
out.
dude. Give me a
I want a
dude.
dude, and they're gonna comply. So it's half the time it's like the main thing is wrong input. They just, especially with like newer TVs, and then when that startup menu comes and they just hit something and it's just boom, it's gone.
No
If
one's
I
reading.
fucked it up, because I know enough, I think I would know enough to know that I did it. Like, oh shit, I fucked this up. And no matter what, I would not call and have somebody come. I would go through every internet thing, call every friend I know, do whatever I could to avoid you coming to my house.
You'd be surprised how many times like I go there and I YouTube the problem because I don't know it, and I'm like, okay, this isn't hooked up to here, so let me YouTube it, and then it's like, oh, here we go, But people they pay a service, so they just want
it's
Sure.
a convenience.
they just want a tech, they just want a guy there,
Yeah.
because it makes them feel.
you can change the
better.
oil on your car too, but what's the likelihood that you're going to pay
Zero.
somebody to do it? You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
You know
yeah.
what? But there is a difference between something like that gets a
I was
little bit
gonna
more
say.
technical versus like, fuck, one wire here to one wire here. You make sure you put that on the right input, and people don't grasp that. By the way, how much do they charge to send someone out?
It's free.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, there's no charge.
Oh, well, in that
for the-
case,
for the
send me
com-
two.
The
Send me
company,
two
the
dudes
company,
over here.
the company I don't name that I work for, it's free. There's no charge. So
Okay.
that's why.
You get all the crazies.
That's why they'll just send you
That's
out
why.
for anything, So we never know if we're walking into a job that's going to take 10 minutes, or 20 minutes, or someone remodeled their house and took all the cable out, and now they need 8 lines
Sure.
hooked up, and then we're there for 4 hours when we're only supposed to be there for like an hour. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
my
So,
house.
Like, cancel the rest of my day. I'm over
Yeah,
here.
so that's how people start getting late appointments. Stuff
We've
like that.
covered weird. We've covered dirty. Have you seen anything illegal?
Oh, you just see like drugs, and they offer. They go, "You want to smoke?" they're like, "Hey, you want to hit this?" Or they
You
always
want a bump?
they always go, I'll offer you a beer, but I know you're on the clock." And it's like, yeah, I know. But guns, just not like illegal. Just people just
I
Discon-
can imagine somebody
just have, like, their
loading a
guns.
revolver. Just
yeah, they just
What's
have
up,
their,
man?
their
Come on
guns,
in.
just their guns out on the table, or just drugs or something like that. Nothing too crazy.
that is kind of crazy though.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, not normal homes to have just drugs and guns out.
Right.
Yeah, especially
Like-
when we know someone's coming over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called the cable
I
guy.
pull mine
hear
out.
somebody at my
Yeah, I'm
door.
like, oh, the cable guy's coming. Better pull out my
I'm
gun.
gonna put away my 9mm really quick. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of like the way you say it like that. It's like all this shit that is not normal is normal to you.
But it's normal for them. I'm in their house though, so if that's how they live. That's how they live. You know what I mean?
It still wouldn't be. That's not how you live. So for the rest of us who aren't exposed to that on the regular or didn't have kind of like that tough skin that you developed, it would still be pretty jarring. Like if I walked into someone's house, regardless of whether I was called or not to do a service, whatever, I walked in, chances are I'm gonna go home and tell my wife like, hey, the weirdest thing happened today. I went into this guy's house and he had like 3 guns just right there on the
He
table.
offered me one.
Yeah, like he asked if I wanted to shoot it. Like, you know, so it is. I just like. I guess that's
Well, I
kind of
mean,
why.
you've heard the story of how he grew up. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's already been through so much. Like, this is nothing.
I was trying to think, like, especially like the gun thing, because that was the first time I had heard that story.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and I'm trying to think, like, if I had ever had a gun pulled out on
Just
me.
casually around.
Yeah, like, let alone, you know, at a pretty formative time where I'm like 12, 13,
Sure.
14, like, that would have fucked me up, I think. Like, because I remembered seeing someone get shot when I was a kid, and that was from a distance. And I still vividly remember that. I remember getting a knife pulled on me when I was a teenager,
Same here.
and that shit was pretty jarring. And then Buddy just, like,
Ah, you know, he had a couple guns. No big
casually,
deal.
like, oh yeah, like, well, my mom broke up with him after that. No shit, no shit. Like, I don't know. I hope I'm not exploiting your life. I just feel like
I know you just want to make a movie about it.
She was
I
a
do.
floozy,
and,
bro.
Yeah.
and multiple
And
episodes.
not, you know,
I do.
and give you under conservatorship and give you no piece of it. That's all.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like if people, because if people were to see this story, I do think that there's value in it too. You know, because to Steve's point earlier, there are plenty of people who have that kind of upbringing and they use it as their out.
Sure.
Like, well, I was exposed to this, so I had no chance in life. And there's logic there. Like, there's definitely an argument. Like, if you never really had any sense of, like, normalcy or craziness is your normalcy, then yeah, like, you might end up pretty fucked up, you know? But to see someone like Buddy that not necessarily is, like, persevered through, because he doesn't come off like that. Like,
Right.
he doesn't come off as the dude who's like,
yeah, it's not something he overcame.
Right,
It's just
like-
like, oh, it was just some stuff.
I walked through the
stuff.
fire and I came out
Yeah.
on the other side. Like, no, like he cracks jokes about it.
Yeah.
Like, and there's value in being able to like not take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a skill I think that a lot of people don't have. You know, because we look at, you know, the hardships. Any one of us could go around this table right now and pick 2 or 3 instances in our life, and we talk about it like we went through fucking Vietnam. You know what I mean? Like it was just
Viet
the
Cong.
worst. Yeah, Viet Cong. You know, and Buddy, it's just.
But I think that gets me in trouble because I make a lot of dark, bad jokes, especially in like relationships, you know. But if you hear like the way me and my mom talk, like it's kind of jarring to people. Like I posted text messages on Instagram of my mom, like shit she says to me or stuff like that. But like
I need to start following you immediately.
You have to.
But
Like,
it's
you
like
absolutely have
just
to
like the
follow
weird
Buddy.
shit. She'll be like, "Oh, your dad had the biggest cock I've ever fucked, and he would eat my pussy." All and just like she says, like jarring shit like that. So like, if I make a joke when I'm dating someone, like, I
Your
think
mom
they're, I
does
think
not
they're,
say that shit.
yeah. You could call her and she'll be like, "Yeah, your dad had the biggest cock."
She's burning out of the fucking elementary school, bro.
Now I know why your
Fuzzball.
dad didn't use the Bowflex because he didn't have to.
Yeah, I was like, why he was talking to them little girls. Like, come on, I know
Doesn't
what I
matter.
am.
If
Come
you
on.
got a gigantic horse dick, it doesn't really matter if you look like a pile of goo.
But like the thing she'll like, so she says stuff to me, which is to me it's normal and it's funny, but like other people would see it and they'd be like, "This is not a normal."
It's not normal.
mother son conversation where you
Yeah.
guys talk about like sex or like her sex life or something like that. But to me, it's not weird to me because it's like always been like
Ah, that's just fuzzball being fuzzball.
yeah, it's always
man.
been like
You
that.
know?
Oh,
It's always
fuzzball.
been that open, and so to me, it's not weird. But then when I talk like that around certain people who don't know me or make jokes, like they think it's really weird.
Well, if you ever want to date Bud, make sure to check out this episode before you go on your first date, and you'll know what you're getting yourself involved. Thank you so much, man,
Thank
for
you for
coming
having
on.
me. I
much for coming
appreciate it,
in.
guys.
Thank you for coming out too, Ramon and Kristen, and
Yeah, thank you.
you know, thank you guys
Dude,
for.
my
I mean, we
cheeks
could
hurt.
keep going, honestly,
My
forever.
cheeks hurt.
But we will have you on again.
Well, I had one question for Kristen.
Oh God, what?
We were talking about when I pooped the sack. Have you ever pooped on one of your kids when you were
No.
having no?
And
You
it's
never
funny
shit
'cause
yourself.
That
when
was
you were
always my
pregnant.
biggest fear, so I wouldn't eat like the day before I was due.
Hilarious.
That was just horrified, and the nurses would always say, "It doesn't matter, you know, you wouldn't know. We clean you up
Like, it
so
matters to
fast." But I never did. And all 5 of my childbirths, never shit on anybody, never shit on myself. So
That's good. That's good. No shit.
No shits here. That's awesome. Because none of us know if our mother shit on us.
No.
I don't
We
know.
don't.
I don't know if I almost died from being choked out with
Yeah.
shit. Like, fuck,
Who knows? I wasn't there. But you can check out this podcast and other podcasts. It's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Every Tuesday night, we go live 8 p.m. Live on Twitter, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. Also on Spotify and anywhere else you can catch this podcast. Thank you.
Guys.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.